It's not
Yes, what's happening, everybody? I hope that everyone is well. This is it, the final day of the season. This is what we have been waiting for. We know who's going to win the league. We know who's won the league. We know who's going down, but there is an awful lot to play for. You feeling nervous?
Fulham away, difficult.
I've got a bad feeling for you today.
I'm worried about you as well.
I've got a bad
away,
feeling for you.
The Forest ground will be rocking.
Bad
in
feeling
Nottingham.
for you, sir.
How you feeling, Adam? You okay?
No.
We'll talk to you very soon. You aren't getting away with it today, let me tell you that for sure. For certain, you can know that Adam McKola is about to deal with the matter at hand. But I need to let you know that it is the final day of the Premier League season, and Sky Bet have partnered with us for this entire season. We're incredibly lucky to be with them, and they have a couple of boosts on offer that might really take your fancy. I mean, first up, in the Forest versus Chelsea game, they've doubled the odds for Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Palmer to have one or more shots on target each. And with teams looking to end the season on a high, they've boosted each game to have over 1.5 goals. Sky Bet for the fans, 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Be a gambler, where there's some brilliant odds there.
So just so you know, that's two separate offers that Sky Bet have for you guys today. There's a double up boost on Woods, Gibb, White and Palmer to have 1+ shot on target each. That was 5-2, it's now 5-1. And the price boost on over 1.5 goals in each Premier League game has gone from 5-2 to 4-1. So some great value there. Remember, 18 plus, T's and C's apply. Please gamble aware.
Over 1.5 goals in each game today.
So that's 2 goals a game. You need it to be 2.
That sounds good to me, that. Over 1.5, mate. Goals galore today. I mean, you know, Man United are going to concede about 5.
Well, so much to play for every side. I mean, Villa are playing in absolutely unbelievable form. City have to score a few goals to get into the Champions League. It's going to be a juicy afternoon of football.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you know where we need to start, though? We need to start in Bilbao. Ugh. We need to take it back in time, as Shola Omar told us, and talk about what exactly happened to Manchester United. Adam, you were there. You made the pilgrimage to Bilbao. Firstly, tell me everything. How was the trip? Did you have a good time overall?
It was a good time was had. It was ruined by the football. I mean, Bilbao as a place is a great place, but it's not set up for a cup final. Obviously, we saw a lot of the scenes and people kind of laying their head down wherever they could get. There was no public transport, so people could get onto where they were staying if they were staying just further outside the city. It was a bit of a shit show in terms of, for both sets of fans, in terms of where it was held, even like the prices of getting there and some people having to do, you know, crazy missions to get. We were quite fortunate. We flew into Barcelona. We drove from Barcelona and we had an Airbnb booked, which I booked like when it was a bit cheaper than they did eventually go to. So we were fortunate in that sense. But Bilbao as a place for a final isn't a great place. But of course, all that kind of thing feels a little bit better when Manchester United, or if your team wins, and Manchester United clearly didn't. And it's one of those where, look, it was the worst performance I've seen from a Manchester United team in a cup
since
final.
Last week, since the week before.
No, in a cup final.
Oh, right.
You can
Villarreal, maybe.
You can look at some bad performance, but even the Villarreal one, we probably should have won. We had chances in that game to win it, and you could go a little bit unlucky. You lose on a penalty shootout. It's not that bad, but the final in Bilbao, it was an abysmal performance from Manchester United, from all involved. I think the only player that could come out of it with his head held high was probably Lenny Yoro, who I think put in a decent performance for the Reds. Apart from that, it was an abysmal performance everywhere. And one of the things United have managed to do over the years is when we've had bad seasons, and we've had a lot of them in recent years, we've managed to paper over the cracks a little bit with a trophy or something. Do you know what I mean? Like the 2 seasons with Ten Hag, you get a League Cup, you get an FA Cup. You can kind of fool yourself into thinking the season hasn't been that bad. Same with Mourinho, you know, we finish outside the top 4, you get a couple of trophies. You can fool yourself into thinking the season hasn't been that bad. United can't do that anymore. You have to face what's coming to you, and it has been the worst season in my life. Morale has never been so low.
Were you concerned pre-kickoff about the lineup? Were there any issues about maybe Luke Shaw playing at left-sided centre-back, Bruno Fernandes in sort of that double pivot, deeper in midfield? Were there any big issues from where you were sat watching it?
I can't believe Højlund still got the nod.
Højlund starting.
I can't believe Højlund got the nod.
Mount.
Off the back of everything that we've said, off the back of everything that we have witnessed happen to Rasmus Højlund very recently, I just can't believe that he persevered with him.
Yeah, it was. Look, I wasn't surprised by the starting lineup. What I was surprised by was the failure to make changes quick enough. Like I've been very supportive of this manager. I think he's dealing with a pretty difficult situation, but I thought he made the situation more difficult for himself. There were some changes that clearly had to be made, and you look at some of the players that we brought on, whilst I don't think they're world beaters or they're setting the world on fire at this point with their football, you know, Garnacho came on, he made a clear impression when he did come on. He had a shot immediately, he made a difference. Kobbie Mainoo didn't come on until there was 10 seconds left of normal time. It was there were really baffling decisions. Kobbie Mainoo and Garnacho scored the winners in our last cup final. Kobbie Mainoo's shown that he can score crucial goals at crucial times in games, and still he sat on the bench. I just found that really, really odd. I could get the Joshua Zirkzee thing because he's not been fit. He's come out injured from that again, and he kind of forced himself back for the final. But to make those changes so late were baffling to me. But again, Garnacho reacts after the game, starts talking out and talking a load of nonsense. I'm glad the manager's dealt with it the way he's dealt with it. Garnacho's not involved today against Aston Villa, and it looks like he's off.
The thing is, though, you're being very kind to Amorim here. Amorim's been speaking and almost talking his way out of a job. The way that he's been speaking of late, it would suggest to me that he doesn't particularly want to be there. He said he will happily walk away without any compensation. He's already talking his way out of the club.
I think he was very emotional after the game, as you can imagine. Obviously, it was a crazy thing to hear being said, but I think ultimately he said that in a sense that no one wants me here, I will leave. Like, you know, it's not about a money situation for him. There was a report from David Ornstein yesterday, which I thought was quite a big report. They had a meeting in the dressing room and the manager told everyone, look, I'm not going anywhere. And then in the same breath's kind of gone, and Alejandro Garnacho, he's not playing for Manchester United no more. And that to me seemed like, look, we're reading into it a lot here. You kind of believe it's happened because David Ornstein's very credible with what he says. That felt to me like a warning shot. To, you know, like if anyone else doesn't want to be, you know, one of them ones, if anyone else doesn't want to be here, you can follow him out the door kind of thing. Because there was a lot of talk about why has he said this to the players?
Yeah.
That could possibly be the reason for saying it to the players. Kind of go, if anyone wants to follow him, the door's there.
Yeah, Garnacho hasn't dealt with this situation well at all. He's got far too much to say for somebody who doesn't deliver anywhere near enough. But there's so much going on. This result,
it's a mess.
I thought it was appalling, like genuinely appalling, almost defining for me. I've always backed Manchester United wrongly. Buvey, you've been very good for this actually. And Adam, you're blind, and I kind of sit in the middle. You're blind in a positive way. Buvey's very scathing, and I kind of go constantly, almost must be boring for people to hear. I constantly go, but they're Man United. They're going to be back. They're going to be strong. The institution, and I'm almost conditioned to believe that they will be capable. Like, you know when I look at fixtures, and it will go Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Man United. I'm like, well, Man United will win that. You know, and it goes Tottenham versus Man United. I'm like, well, Man United will win that because I've been kind of taught and coerced into believing that for my entire life. This was the epiphany. This was the moment where I've realised I've been wrong. Adam's been drastically wrong, and you've been more towards the correct line.
Well, you can see it a million miles away. I've said it for many weeks on the show, and about the formation. For me, it starts with the formation. You play the 3-4-3, 3-5-2, however you look at it. No control in the midfield. You've got Mazraoui isolated right wing back. Luke Shaw's a left-sided centre back. It just doesn't work. I know it's his system, but you do have to change things eventually. And
You've got to be pragmatic.
He was playing 3-4-3 all the way into the 95th. He didn't change the formation at all.
No.
At one point, 4-4-2. I know it's a simplistic kind of Brexit manager formation that's a little bit out of style, but actually there's a reason that 4-4-2 is such a successful, because it gets two players up the pitch and it gets a little bit more control.
And the traditions of Manchester United have dictated that over the years as well. But do you know the other thing that I didn't really take into account until this was put to me very recently? I've always acknowledged this trophy. I've constantly said how hard it is to win, how impressive it is to win it. Some of the best nights of my life have been winning it. We won it in Amsterdam. Can you imagine? We won it in the last minute in Amsterdam. It was amazing. We beat Benfica.
I find it was in Amsterdam. I wouldn't have left.
yeah, right. But you know what? And I never acknowledged this really until I did a Talk Talk show with a guy called Hugh Wizencroft, who is a Man United fan. And he put this to me.
Hugh Woozy, as they call him.
Hugh Woozy. and listen to what he told me, and it's completely correct. You know, when I talk about winning this in previous years, and I say this is a magnificent competition, and that's true for when Chelsea have won it, it's true for when Manchester United won it with Pogba scoring in Stockholm, it's true for when anybody has won it in the past. It isn't the same competition this year. The fact that you didn't win it this year, this is the first year that the Champions League has swallowed up the best teams. So, you know, the extra position for the Premier League team, it means that they're not in the Europa League. They're in the Champions League. So in every division in the top 5 divisions, you're losing the best team from this competition.
Well, yeah, you could have had like City drop into it or something based on their form in the Champions League.
The Champions League teams no longer plummet
PSG, Real Madrid.
Well, do you know if you
it's
look,
still a difficult tournament.
No, but
let's not take anything away.
No, I'm
from
not
what
taking
Spurs
anything
have
away.
done.
I'm just explaining the difference. This time last year, the semi-finals were, and this was put to me by a Man United fan on there. The semi-finals this time last year, it was like Liverpool, Atalanta, it was Leverkusen who were on their major run. Yeah. It was like established, brilliant teams. If you look at the run that both Tottenham and Manchester United went on, they haven't played anybody. The first time they played anybody really
Frankfurt for Tottenham was that's a really difficult one.
That was a really good performance.
Yeah, that was fine. But Bodo Glimt, Norwegian opposition after that.
Bodo Glimt in the semi-final. And
then Man United lose that final after that.
And then Manchester United, the first time they really played anybody recognisable was what, maybe Lyon?
Lyon was difficult, wasn't it? And that was a good result to get over the line.
Yeah. But winning this competition for Manchester United with this added factor of the ease at which you should be now winning this competition.
And the issue is, as football fans or people we talk in the media, it's like sometimes you have to look at the financial problem that Man United are in now, losing that final, because there's going to be a massive black hole that they won't be able to count for because they're not in the Champions League.
They've literally put everybody up for sale.
If you finish in the bottom half of the Premier League, obviously you lose money as well in terms of the position.
I think you do look at the squad and you go, I was doing this on the way back. Look, there's been rumours linking Bruno Fernandes with a move away.
Saudi, 120 million.
Bruno Fernandes, for me, is someone that he was really poor in the final. Let me get that out there. But Bruno Fernandes is someone for me who's consistently performed when others haven't in a Manchester United shirt. If he wants to leave and take the money, I'd welcome him to do that. He's more welcome to do that because he's been excellent for us. But it's even got to a point with me where I'm like, if we want to sell, we need to just strip this whole thing back.
Do you include the manager in that?
It's mental, possibly, yeah.
Do you really? Because this is the first time
I have doubts about him, but I still think he should be here next season.
This is the first time you've ever.
But one of the things that happened at
it's a moment. This movie. It's a moment because the first time there's a glint. Yeah.
No, of course, but it'd be foolish not to be.
No, I agree with you. I think he should be gone. I think he should have been sacked on the night.
He should be gone.
I think he should have been sacked on the night.
That's the
thing. Lost to Tottenham 4 times this year, and it's the worst Tottenham team.
4 times?
Yeah, and it's the worst Tottenham team of a generation.
And if they lose to Villa, it's 9 points since December in the league.
9 points. It's 9 points now since December.
You have to give it, like I said,
9 points in the Premier League since December.
Do you know where you get sacked? You get sacked at Wolves for that kind of form, not Manchester.
Yeah,
Man United, you'd be sacked before that even happened.
Can I ask you as well? Can you imagine if Manchester United had appointed Gareth Southgate and he got this form? Can you imagine how people would have been reacting?
The vitriol.
The vitriol, even from you. You would have been so much harsher if Frank Lampard was demonstrating this form. Yeah. Steven Gerrard was demonstrating this form. But because it's Ruben Amorim, for some reason, he plays a back 3 and he's a bit of a hipster.
Sean Dyche at Everton never got 9 points in 6 months.
That, though. You do look at the players that are there. It's not been much, man. It should be better. I'm not excusing the form as it is wholly, but
it's better than Tottenham's team, though, isn't it?
How would you get any credibility if he's going to sign Cunha, one of the best players in the Premier League this season? I think it's a great deal for Man United, regardless of what happened in the final.
Bad deal for Cunha.
How can you put an arm around him as the manager and say, "I'm going to teach you how to be the"? Cunha wants to be a world beater. He wants to lead Brazil in the World Cup the following summer.
Bring some context to this, and again, just because it's happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And also, Sporting compared to Manchester United, 2 completely different institutions, but nevertheless, Sporting are a massive club in Portugal. One of the things that he did when he got there was, I think 20 players left. And that's almost what you're going to see this summer. You're going to see a whole load of players leave Man United. We've only got domestic football next season, which could maybe be a blessing in disguise because you can shrink the squad down, add some youth to there. We're not going to be able to make huge amounts of signings. And it looks like there's going to be big changes. You can't go anywhere with that goalie and with that striker, man. You can't do anything. And that's where we need to start.
And that keeper's been told to find a new club, I've heard.
He's not playing today.
Yeah, he's just
somehow Højlund is though. Just play Cheeto,
Højlund playing today?
You can't play Højlund.
Yeah.
Can't play.
I think, honest to God, lads, I think you're more likely to get relegated next season than be in the Champions League positions next season for Man United.
One of the things that I thought. You know what I thought, yeah? If you sell Bruno, sell him, you get 100 million or something from a Saudi.
I would
take it. But then you go, he's probably the only reason we never got relegated this season.
How long do you give Amorim? You know, when the season starts?
Mate, when
I reckon he's got 10 games.
If they lose 4-0 in their first game to Brentford?
Brighton, it's going to be messy.
I think if Amorim, I reckon he's got 10 games.
It's like Ten Hag all over us. They knew after the FA Cup final he wasn't good enough.
Remember when he said that?
Should have sacked him in the
Remember
summer.
when he said that? Bring me in the summer.
Maybe he's just not the right man. Though.
He's not the right man.
He's just
Of course
not good
he's
enough.
not, Rory.
I know.
Something there.
Amazing. Look, here we go. Anyway, Chelsea here in the tunnel at the City Ground. This is our biggest game for God knows how long on the final day of the season.
Kasper Gronke.
Jasper.
That's how you say it in Norwegian, yeah?
No, you say it, Jasper.
Jasper Gronke, yeah? Big
Jesper,
goal against Liverpool.
in fact.
Yeah, it's 22 years ago that was.
Jasper. Yeah.
Our producers
Was
had
it
to
22
Google
years ago?
Jesper Gronke because I butchered it.
It's so
Yeah.
sad. Look
Well,
at
you
this.
didn't
I
butcher
think-
it. You just
Yeah, I
you
butchered
said
his
it.
name. I
No, you
butchered his
didn't
name.
butcher it. You said it perfectly. You
I
just
think
said
that's
it
how you
different. You
say
just gave him
it.
a different name.
That's how you
You
actually
said
say it.
Casper.
That's how you-
As in Schmeichel.
Kasper, yeah.
As in the friendly ghost.
This
Really
is a
sad.
big,
I
big
think
game.
Johnny Evans is doing like some sort of farewell today because it's his last game at the club. And it's like, how depressing, man. This is a player that's won everything for Man United. And he's
Should
going
have
to
never
be...
come back.
He was in the 6-1 defeat
He's
when
gonna-
Balotelli did that with his shirt.
So long
6-1.
ago.
I was doing my GCSEs.
Mate, yeah, there's some players at Man United that keep... I always
Lindelof's
think that
last
about
game
Lindelof.
today.
I always think that about Lindelof.
And he was mouthing off when he in the final.
Yeah.
That was... I don't, you,
Yeah,
I'm
wouldn't know
guessing you
that.
didn't
You
see
wouldn't
that.
know about this.
He was on the bench mouthing off. I think he got a yellow card.
He
Didn't
did. I know he got booked. I
He was
wondering
moaning
why
at
he got
the
booked.
assistant
pathetic.
linesman.
It was-
You know what I did like?
Pathetic.
Harry Maguire went to clear some people out, man. I love that.
Although Romero, he wouldn't shake Romero's hand.
Yeah, I like that.
Did you see, how was the atmosphere in the ground of that? Were United loud? Were
We
Tottenham loud?
Tottenham sang one of two songs consistent.
Oh, when the Spurs.
Whenever that, yeah, it was. Mate, it's almost as bad as North London Forever. Jesus, United's fans were loud, and then Spurs scored, and it was like,
Obviously not loud
oh
anymore. Yeah.
fuck. You know, like what's happening starts to dawn on you that this is a business.
It's an awakening. It's an awakening for Man United fans, I'm sure.
Sorry, we've
Because
talked
it's
back
an
to United
awakening
again.
for me. Like, I will never do the thing I always do about Manchester United. You know when people go, who's going to finish the top four? I'm like, well, Man United. Who's going to win the FA Cup? I'm like, well, probably Man United.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do
They're
that.
one bad summer away from being in the championship following season. Oh, if they get it wrong. I'm not saying that it's likely. It'd be one of the biggest relegations in the history of English
It would be
football.
the biggest relegation in the history of English.
They've been relegated before, haven't they?
No, but
And
it's
they're
a
the
new
better
Man
side.
United
No,
since
no, but
then.
it's
There's
like-
two more European Cups
Yeah,
since then.
yeah.
But there's a lot of similarities between this season and the season before Man United.
Reminds
went
me
down.
of Leeds with David O'Leary in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was a great team
side,
as well.
And they were lingering for
Yeah.
a couple of years, and they got
Yeah, that Lee
relegated.
Bowyer and that.
Then they had Beckford
big money
up front.
on big
Big money on
wages, and you
Seth
can't get
Johnson,
rid of
wasn't
him.
it? Seth Johnson. That's one of my favourite football stories, that Seth Johnson.
Peter Ridsdale.
Yeah, so good, isn't it?
They're outside going,
Yeah.
how much we ask
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
5 grand?
His
10
agent,
grand?
his agent goes to him, listen, Seth, don't say anything and I can get you 20 grand.
No, it wasn't even that. He goes, don't say anything, I'll get you 10 grand a week.
Get 10 grand. They walk in and he's on the phone and Ridsdale goes, look, I haven't got time for this. 60 grand, yes or no?
Right, Forest, Chelsea. Come on, Forest!
Come on, Forest!
Cheer me up, lads.
Seems
Come
totally
on, lads.
unnecessary.
Up the Forest. What happened today? So what's the permutations? Because my head has been in the sand.
If Forest win
football-wise.
against Chelsea, but Villa win as well, they can't do anything. and Newcastle win. So it's out of their hands
The reason
a little
Forest
bit.
need to win. Forest need to win to give themselves a fighting chance of making it into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Champions League for Forest, very unlikely. Possible, but unlikely.
Yeah.
What they need to win for is Europa League.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Forest would end up in the conference. And do you think this is fair to say? If Forest do end up in the conference, despite having a brilliant season, Espirito Santo, one of the best in the league this year, if they were to finish this season in the Conference League, considering where they were just 8 weeks ago,
I think it'd be a bit harsh. It's been a very, very competitive.
But if they win
top
today, they
six
get
race.
Europa League,
They're
minimum.
fighting against a side that spent £1 billion in Chelsea. You know, 2-time European Cup winners.
But mate,
Newcastle
they've got
United.
points to Leicester recently.
Yeah, but
It's not just Chelsea.
They've
They're
been
not fighting
punished
against...
to the highest degree possible. They drew with Leicester City. It's not a good result. They didn't lose 4-0 to Leicester City. They drew, and the margins have been... If they get it right today, Nottingham Forest could finish above Man City, couldn't they? If things go...
Yeah,
that's
they
how tight
could.
it is. So
But-
if they finish in the Conference League, they'd be a little bit...
I'm just...
be unlucky, is what I'm saying.
I don't think it's an extreme thing to say. If Forest end up in the Conference League, it would be a little bit underwhelming considering quite how brilliant they've been all season.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's a very punishing league.
It is a very punishing.
The top five,
and they've had a
push is
terrible terrible run of it of late.
Yeah.
Like if they just got one win, you know when they went on that run with no wins in 5, one win. It
all
would
they
be
have to do
so-
is beat Leicester City. You're right.
Yeah.
2 more points. Suddenly they're on
Yeah.
Newcastle's points tally.
Yeah.
What
We've
a
got some
shame.
super chats going to fly through before we get Rory's thoughts on Chelsea's 11 today. Jamesy It's got a 7 in it, but I think it's Jamesy. Says, Rory, loved the video about James Maddison. Couldn't have said it better myself. He went full John Terry, didn't he, the little cretin? Owen says, the rich get richer, lads. Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. Here we go. Imagine winning the league and signing Germany's next superstar. We will be speaking about Florian Wirtz at halftime in today's show. Nathaniel says, Rory, thank you from all Liverpool fans for speaking facts on TalkSport about the Trent situation.
Really?
Hashtag Chelsea. Rory gets it.
That's very kind. That has not been the typical response I've had.
Really?
So thank you very much, sir. I'm really.
I've seen that video everywhere. I thought it was quite positive.
No. Overall,
is that because it's your personal Twitter that you're seeing things?
Yeah.
So on the video comments when I looked at it, looked
right.
decent.
No, most people.
You do read the negative comments more.
Yeah.
I'd say most people.
I thought you got it pretty spot on.
I think Jurgen Klopp's got some front. I think his ego's out of control.
A bit cheeky coming back when they've won a title.
I know, it's not about him. It's about Liverpool fans.
Why does he keep coming back?
I think he's got an ego beyond.
You know when
control.
Ancelotti won the double in 2010? Would it be conceivable Jose Mourinho comes back for that?
No. Or equally, when we won the European Cup.
David Moyes won the
when
league.
we won the European Cup a couple of years after Ancelotti.
Is it a bit of a special situation though, considering? I mean, I think most managers would say no. But is it not like they didn't get one then? And they probably should have.
But why didn't Pellegrini come back when Guardiola won the league title 2 years later?
I think you can come back, but you have to just... What you can't do is make it about you. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being there. Like, of course he has a right to be there. Of course he's contributed on some level to this victory for Liverpool. But I think his ego is beyond control. I think it's clearly him trying to make it about him. And to have the audacity to tell Liverpool fans how to think, I just can't get my head around it. Like, if I want to know the feeling of any club, I'm not asking a former manager. If I want to know how Man City fans feel about something, where do you sit? If you stood on a Kipax, if you are Buvey's age and you follow Man City, I want to know from you. I don't want to. If I needed to know something from Man City, I'm not going to ask Pellegrini. I'm not going to ask Roberto Mancini. I'm going to ask. If I need to know something about Man United,
though, isn't he allowed to have an opinion? Again, I'm not seeing all of his quotes. So sorry if he was saying what you're saying and he's going. Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
He did in the first part. From what
feel.
I saw, the first part of it was saying that he couldn't believe he was getting booed, and that's his opinion.
He turned it
into a bit preachy,
but
didn't
then he's turned it into telling Liverpool fans how to behave.
Okay.
Like which he just can't do. He hasn't. Jurgen Klopp has a grasp of football, infinite grasp of football, far beyond anything I ever could. Right, he would have forgotten more about football than I will ever know, of course. But what I and all football fans have a better grip on is fan culture. He's Trent Alexander-Arnold's mate. Of course he doesn't.
Yeah.
Of course, they've got a friendship. Of course he doesn't want to see him.
But he's not
a Scouser. He's from Stuttgart and he's telling people on the Kop how to behave.
But he is someone that would know the ins and outs of how Trent felt as a Liverpool player.
Who cares?
Some of the hard work he put in the graft, etc., etc.
How he felt.
Yeah, because he would have seen the hard work. He would have seen the behind the scenes. He would have seen how much Trent cares about.
It's irrelevant to this. It's completely irrelevant. The reason why Trent Alexander-Arnold is booed is because he's turning his back on Liverpool when they're champions. It's crucial that when they're champions is said. And he's also done it in a way that gets Liverpool absolutely nothing out of this trade.
Isn't that the best time to leave?
No, because you can justify... when Stephen McManaman left, he left because he wanted to win top-tier silverware. Trent Alexander-Arnold knows he doesn't have to leave Liverpool to win top-tier silverware. He's leaving when he's won top-tier silverware, when his team need him, when he's told them all that he's just a normal lad from Liverpool whose dream is to captain his club. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's not his dream because he would be the future captain of the club and he's turned his back on it. And, crucially, even Cristiano Ronaldo, a man who I think is fair to assume prioritises himself. Even Cristiano Ronaldo signed a contract with Manchester United to make sure that Manchester United got paid for his services.
Is there anything...
He also gave us an extra year.
He gave you an extra year, yeah, when he was desperate to leave.
The contract for the money, man.
But what do you think about Arne Slot when he came out this week and he sort of said about Trent?
Oh, man, you know what?
Oh, he said about Trent, his training, lack of energy in training and lack of focus in training. That was interesting this week.
Yeah.
It was a bit like, does Trent feel wanted? I know it's a different angle to it from the manager.
Mate, what was the performance where he played? Was it
United?
United. You can't
the one after the news broke.
You can't tell me that was a man who was doing everything in his power to play at his full capacity for Liverpool Football Club.
Is this after the announcement? Sorry.
Yeah.
It was the first game.
First one after.
I thought it was interesting the way the manager talked about him, sort of wanting a bit more out of him when he was training midweek when he first came into the club. Forest are in.
Morgan Gibbs-White, edge of the box,
got to do better
good tackle, come through to Elanga. Cucurella's done well to get him out of the box.
So easy to get him behind us, isn't
Cameraman
it?
just
I think the
got
cameraman
bumped
just
into the
got bumped
linesman.
into the linesman, yeah. But no, I honestly thought it was a bit strong of Klopp telling Liverpool fans what's what. Like, you just...
Liverpool fans won't forget about it, but the club will move on. They've already signed a fantastic right back, haven't they, Frimpong?
Yeah.
His numbers are absolutely
Trent,
exceptional. He's not Trent. His numbers are close to Trent.
Isn't he more? Is he not?
He's really
more,
attacking, isn't he?
He's more of a in the kind of system United played, all right.
Yeah, he's a
more
right
suited
wing back.
to that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
system. It'd be interesting to see him in a 4.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things. Because United were linked with him a lot when we had Ten Hag, and one of the things was like, does he fit into a Ten Hag system? Because he's more of a right wing back.
But if you're Liverpool, you got potentially Wirtz in there, McAllister, Gravenberch. You can have so much of the ball. You can play. You can play three. You can play the centre back, left side centre back come in.
Can I just refer to a comment here? Somebody said Rory has an opinion, but is saying that Klopp isn't allowed an opinion. Klopp is most certainly allowed an opinion, and my opinion on this, I actually don't have one. My opinion is listen to the cop. My opinion is I'm learning the situation because I'm listening to the cop. They will tell me what is right for Liverpool Football Club and how to feel about things. I believe that Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't treat that club right. I don't like players who walk away, which is why I've given Mason Mount similar stick, Gordon Jury and Gus Poyet before them. I don't like players that do things like that, right? Gordon Jury, scumbag, right? But the reason that I know that this right is because the coppers told her. You listen to the Liverpool fan. I saw a great tweet about it. It said the cop booed him and the main stand applauded him. Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm not telling Klopp not to have an opinion. I'm telling him to listen to the people who actually know, and he isn't one of them. He isn't. He's got no opinion. He isn't. He isn't a fan of Liverpool. He isn't.
Fergie's from Scotland. Fergie's from Scotland. He's the Man United voice.
I wouldn't listen to Fergie.
You wouldn't listen to Fergie.
I'd listen to someone in the Stretford end over Fergie.
Yeah, for certain
I'd listen
things.
to someone in the kickbacks over Mancini.
No, of course.
I'd listen to someone in the shed over Mourinho.
You are as close. I mean, the German thing is you can be he's as close to a Scouser in football in terms as you could ever be.
Not in terms of not as a fan. Not as a fan.
Also,
Clearly,
you got to remember, he gets it big with a lot of his morals and then joined Red Bull Group.
Yeah,
the Red Bull thing.
He's meant to fully like immerse himself in Dortmund culture.
I don't know what's happened to Klopp. He was linked to Roma this week. Roma. I mean, I know they've got new owners. It's a bit more ambitious.
To take.
It's not.
No, not his level. He's far big. No, it's not that big.
Imagine getting it right.
Roma's it's not.
That's what you do. That's what managers do, though. You go, imagine.
Roma's not AC Milan.
Mate,
Roma's not.
Of course,
yeah, long way.
It's a small club compared to his level.
Still a great.
People think he's the best manager in the world. I met a Fulham fan who said he was the best in the history of the Premier League.
That guy.
Mourinho went Roma as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, but Mourinho went there when he was 70.
Come on, man. Roma's I don't know.
Roma's not Jurgen Klopp.
Roma's not even the biggest club in Rome.
That's not what I'm
saying.
No,
Roma's bigger than Lazio.
What I'm saying is, it'd be a great job to take. Getting that right. You can see anyone can win the.
No, I agree, but I think you're both right. I understand what you're saying, the appeal of the job, but I also understand what Buvey's saying. Buvey's saying that this bloke is seen as being one of the best managers in the world. Generally speaking, the best manager in the world doesn't get a Roma job.
You don't go Roma.
But when he's taken jobs that were almost seen as projects, though. He's never taken the best job.
Yeah,
that's been available.
Yeah, but Liverpool.
Dortmund were the second best team in Germany.
Liverpool
weren't even the second best.
Roma only
team
got relegated this season. I mean, Roma aren't even top 5.
Dortmund and Liverpool, two of the biggest teams in their country, right? Top 4? Dortmund and Liverpool be Dortmund be the second biggest club in Germany.
It's more like Napoli. Klopp going to Napoli.
I think AC Milan.
Is the second biggest. AC Milan's the biggest club.
AC Milan. Yeah, that's where I think he should go, though. He's the best manager. If he's going to go to Italy, AC Milan or Inter. And Inter don't need him.
I think he goes for like projects.
Did you see the scenes, by the way, of Napoli?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you see, mate? I saw this thing. I saw these vox pops of fans outside the stadium talking about Scott McTominay. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They love him. They've all got his name on the back of the.
And Billy Gilmore has a.
Yeah, but Scott McTominay, they're talking about like.
Yeah, well, the bicycle kit.
Billing.
I couldn't believe it when I saw Billing there. I couldn't
Forrest.
Believe it. Do you know what it was?
Oh,
Jesus, man. Do you know what it was? Conte just loves the physicality of the English players. So he went to England and he's like, players that succeeded in England, obviously Lukaku.
It doesn't matter, but Liverpool nil, Palace won.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Billing was good at Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, he was, but they got him on a free,
a good goal against Arsenal, didn't he? A couple of years ago.
Oh dear.
Conte's. There's an argument he's the greatest league manager in
Mate,
the world.
he's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the way that he just goes and wins leagues. It's almost a guarantee.
5 of the last 6 seasons he's been a manager in a league. He's
With
won.
like
With
very
3 different
few
Italian
huge-
sides.
Like obviously they bought Lukaku, they bought McTominay. Did they buy Lukaku? Or is he still owned by Chelsea?
No, he's not. I don't know actually. God.
He's on loan.
And then
For
a
us
lot of them
still,
were like
so-
loan deals and stuff like that he brought in.
I love the Billy Gilmore
Mate,
one.
It shows you how bad
Billy
Inter-
Gilmore
We're
one.
on the break.
Inter
here.
blew it
Ah.
because Inter got a great side.
They've
man.
bottled the last 3 or 4,
Yeah.
haven't they? Like they've bottled a few.
Inter-
No, but it's because
They
of the
lose to
Champions
PSG.
League. But it's because of the Champions League, Inter.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah.
you know why it's happened. And it will either pay off or it won't. Like, they'll win the Champions League and it will pay
There's
off.
a goal for Palace.
I think Mateta.
Mate,
Great
what
finish,
a week! What a week for Palace fans.
Man. Yeah.
You know, if you were at Selhurst Park the
can't
other
believe they
day
won
at
as well.
Wembley,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you go
yeah.
to Anfield.
Yeah.
I forgot they won as well.
Yeah, also, the game at Anfield's just party time.
That's the
regardless
Community
of the
Shield
result.
next year. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Well, this summer.
We're the current holders of that.
What?
Man City current
Why
holders
are
of
you
the
telling
Community
us
Shield.
that?
The fuck's
So we're the
that got
current
to do with
holders.
anything?
That came out of nowhere.
No,
What?
because that means Palace have won silverware, we've won silverware, Spurs have won silverware, and Liverpool have won
This
silverware.
season?
Yeah,
I don't think you have.
the Community Shield counts.
What
Don't
are
think
we
it
It
doing?
does.
We took the piss out of Arteta for saying he won 3 trophies based off the Community Shield.
Who's the current holders of the Community Shield?
Mate, stop it.
Manchester
I'm going to
City.
help you out here. And stop. I'm on your team here.
You know when
But
Fergie
stop
talks
it.
about all his titles, he includes Community Shields in his as
No,
well.
I think you're allowed to do it when
Yeah.
you go.
When you've got, like,
when
30
you've got 30, you can include it.
But it's
Do you
been
know-
a good season. City have won
do you know,
silverware.
do you know who needs to stop doing it a bit? Mikel Arteta. Because I tell you what, you know what he says about the amount of trophies he's won? The Charity Shields do a lot of heavy lifting for him. Like,
Well, Arsenal have 35% of Arsenal's trophies are Community Shields in their history.
been a bad
How embarrassing
season.
is that?
Been a bad season for them, man. Bad
It's been
season.
shocking. But they're linked to Jokeres. That's a good deal. That's
I
fantastic
don't know
deal.
how good is it. Is it?
Like, obviously, you can sign better players and they can still flop.
Do you know what I
it's
feel like?
not easy
do you know,
to
Do
judge.
you know what I feel like Arsenal need to do, right? And Man United have missed.
Diallo,
Quite a good effort, in fact. I thought it went in. Did you think it went in for a sec?
Yeah,
Manchester United have Rizla paper away from scoring, by the way. Amad Diallo, I think it's Mason Mount goes down a wing, crosses it, weak foot. Hoyland misses it,
got to
unsurprisingly.
do better than that.
I think Diallo does need to do better than that. Is he trying to bring it down, or is
Dunno, yeah.
is he steering it towards goal?
He has
Don't
to hit
think
the target.
Don't think he anticipated it coming.
Why do we care? Why?
I don't,
wanna- I'm
actually. Why is it on the
fucking
telly?
sick of this Shit.
Why is it on the telly?
Because Villa can qualify.
Okay, yeah, watching it for a Villa
But if
perspective.
Villa score, we are going to have to put Man City on, I think, because
Mate, wouldn't it be typical of Man United to find a win today?
City lose to Fulham, I'm going to fucking, well, I don't know what to do, Royce, to be honest. What am I going to do in the
You're going
summer?
to go snooker loopy.
Well, honestly, mate, what am I going to do? Europa League for City next season? No.
Mate, yeah, it's.
Oh, Lordy.
I just, do you know what? Did you think that was interesting? Like, I never really thought about it, but the lack of prestige and the lack of prestigious teams in the Europa League now because
It
of.
was a really good shout, mate. I didn't think about
No, I didn't think about it
And
either.
then you think, yeah, actually, because Barcelona were in it a few years
Yeah,
ago, weren't they? And
yeah,
Atletico Madrid
yeah,
or Seville. always
Exactly.
have a
Man
go,
United,
and-
like, at one point, very
Celtic.
recently, Anthony scored.
Yeah.
Manchester United played Barcelona in the Europa League.
Yeah, Rashford was good.
None
wasn't
of that kind of fixture is nowhere near
Yeah,
that
yeah,
competition anymore.
he? Yeah, it's ruined the other competitions.
I think 5 teams from like Spain, 5 teams from England. It does have a very detrimental impact on the Europa League because if you didn't have 5 going into the Champions League, I imagine if you only had 3 going into the Champions League, you'd have 2 very good teams going into the Europa League.
Yeah, but the competition should be onto itself, shouldn't it? Like the Premier League wouldn't have 5 sides dropping in from a different division. Like,
No, I agree with you.
The Europa League, you're playing everyone like Bodo Glimt deserves to get to the
But
semis. Suddenly they're not facing Real Madrid.
But too
fair
many
enough.
teams too many teams in the Premier League are qualifying for the Champions League. Like it
I
shouldn't
know,
be
it's
5.
5.
Shouldn't be 5. Like it's just 5 out of
embarrassing.
20 is a significant percentage.
A quarter of our teams playing the Champions League.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Come on.
And what? Nearly 50%.
We ruin Europe, don't we? Let's be real.
No, but it's not
We
only us.
ruin
We're not
Europe.
the only team with 5.
No, we
Been
do.
adjusted because of the Super
We had a
League,
Champions
though,
League
innit?
final with Liverpool and Spurs a few years ago.
Do you know-
Neither have been a champion for
Oh,
decades.
Villa
Do
even,
you know,
sorry.
do you know what I think, though? I genuinely think. You know, if Villa qualify for the Europa League, they should book their tickets to Istanbul now.
We said that a couple of years. We said
No,
that
but
last season.
Think about the teams. Yeah, we said it last season, but it's harder last season.
Who did
That's
they
the
lose?
point
They
we're
lost,
making.
they lost to a dead side, Roars, last season, didn't they? No, it was in the Conference League last season. They lost to a dead side in the Conference League. I'm not backing Villa. This whole
Mate,
they won the
Unai
European
Emery,
Cup
Unai
a few
Emery in the
decades ago.
Europa League that is now a diluted Europa
But
League.
they were in the Conference League last season. They got banged,
Yeah, but they've had a Champions League campaign since then and done well.
and they were naive in that game. They should have beaten PSG.
No, but they did beat Bayern. They've proved that they'll win the Europa League.
Oh.
God.
Oh my
He'll be
God.
City in the Europa League. The way it's
Journey
going.
back from Bilbao, yeah.
Was it bad?
It was super low morale, as you would imagine.
What time of the day?
So
the following
we
day
left
did
at
you leave?
3:45 a.m.
Oh,
So we've
so you
hardly
didn't even go to
slept.
bed?
We had like an hour in the Airbnb.
Why did you leave at 3:45?
Because we had to drive to Barcelona to get a flight at 11.
Oh my God! Why didn't you book a flight for 4?
So, because my birthday, I wanted to get home.
3:45 in the morning.
But anyway, Jay's driving. Yeah, Jay's the only one out of all of us that don't drink, right? So me and Spraggy have had one too many. Ben's with us, he don't drive. So Jay's driving. As we're on the way there, we've driven for about an hour. There's a toll booth. We stopped at the toll booth. Jay's kind of had to open the door, reach out and do it.
That's what I have to do.
Closed it.
Short man problems, man.
Carried on
Always get
driving.
out. It's really emasculating.
We're driving for another half an hour now. I see Jay
Passport.
panicking around everywhere. I go, Jay, you all right? He goes, yeah, I can't find my passport. He goes, it was in my pouch. It's not in my pouch anymore. And we're like, and I'm going, brother, are you sure it's not in your bag in the boot or something like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is crazy right now. Let's look and let's locate this because it's in your bag. He's like, nah, it's definitely not there. It was in my pouch. It's no longer in my pouch. Bear in mind, we've kept driving. So now we're all close to arguing in the car because we're like, fucking, we're all on edge. Yeah. Spraggy's half asleep. Fucking Ben's half asleep. We're like, all right. Jay's like, all right, we're going to have to go back. And we're like, are you sure it's going to be there? Like, because we're going through, now we're Googling emergency passports. We're Googling everything.
Oh my God.
He's like, yeah. And then he even suggested, he goes, listen, I'll drop you like to Barcelona and I'll come back.
Oh.
And we're going, that's like a 15-hour round trip to do that.
Yeah. We're in this together.
Yeah, so,
you idiot.
So
But we
now
are in this
we've
together.
had to put Bilbao back in the thing to go back on ourselves. But listen, we have to go down the motorway for another 15 miles because we can't turn around. So we're getting further
Where are
away.
you trying to go back to though? Where does he think he's left it? In like a
At the
B&B
toll
or what?
booth.
Oh, we think he's
Because when he's closed the
fallen out
door,
of thing.
his pouch was stuck in the
Right,
thing, right? This is why fucking grown men should be wearing pouches, by the way.
Yeah.
What, you had a fanny pack?
He had a fanny
man
pack.
bag thing.
Anyway, we've turned around, so now we've had to go back 45 minutes back up to this place, right?
Oh, you've actually gone
We're
back.
on the opposite side of the motorway, bear in
found it.
mind. He's had to jump out the car. We've parked up at this toll booth. He's had to run across. There's cars coming through the toll, so he's having to stop, and we're all going. His passport's not going to be there. Next thing I know, I've seen him turn into a sprint, and sprint across the forecourt of his toll, pick up his passport,
Found it.
come back. Then he's moved loads of cones, so we're probably going to get a ticket of some sort. He's moved loads of cones out of the way in the middle of the motorway so we could do a UE ourselves. Did a UE, had it like we were close to being late for the flight, but he got it. And it was like,
That's amazing.
everyone was on the verge of arguing.
It was just on the road. It was just on the road.
It was wet, soggy.
So where actually was it?
So
On
as
the
he's
floor?
leaned out,
It's just on the floor?
it's fell out of his pouch onto the floor.
Oh my God.
But like so cars had been over it, it was,
Mate, that is just the worst ending to the worst
You know,
trip
if we'd
ever.
won, I don't think anyone
That'd be
would
funny.
No one
yeah.
cares.
Funny.
We would have gone, oh, don't worry about that flight.
You would have lost it anyway.
Yeah.
There's a flight at 8 p.m. We'll be all right. Nah, man. It was just first time I've ever been close to having an argument with Jay as well.
What, you go, mate, how have you done
Mate, what
this
the
to
fuck?
us?
You know what I'm saying?
How have you done this to us?
Neto's been manhandled there by the Nottingham Forest right back.
Oh,
They're all
dear,
over you,
oh
mate.
dear.
They're all over you now.
Any goals in the Premier League yet, apart from the Palace one? No.
Spurs just scored.
Oh, God.
Tottenham have scored.
Who are they playing? Right.
Oh, yeah, they got a guard of honour. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Guard of
You
Honour
meant
for
to
being
do that for
17th.
Europa
Wild.
League win?
No, of course you're not. I think it's quite disrespectful to the league winners. I think it's quite disrespectful to Liverpool.
Yeah,
Like, where do we
people
draw the line here? Did Liverpool have to give one to Palace today
Yeah,
as
what
well?
about-
We wouldn't have
Yeah,
got one
Conference
if
League.
we won it.
No.
Like, we wouldn't.
No, but you wouldn't. It's not right to get one either. It's just
We would have been thrown
It's just
tomorrow.
Brighton. It's just
Liverpool
that
and
hurts,
Palace
though, like,
gave each other one as well.
hashtag class. Oh, for God's sake!
Wait, how does that work?
So you go through, and then they go through. It's like you know at a wedding. You know when the bride and
right,
groom go
yeah.
through, and then you get to the end and you start forming the
I
line.
thought you were going to say when you played under sevens and everyone got a medal.
Hold on
everyone
a
for
minute.
participating.
That is utter woke nonsense.
Yeah,
It's
it's
utter
terrible.
woke
It's
nonsense.
terrible.
It is
It's
utter
terrible.
woke
And
nonsense.
Palace were time wasting the whole FA Cup final.
Good
It was
news,
time
Reds,
wasting.
more injuries.
What?
Someone else is fucking injured.
Get in the box, man. Come on.
Come on, Forrest!
Do it for Robin Hood. Do it for Robin Hood. In the box.
Come on,
Yeah.
Forrest.
I don't know. Stop it. Why do you two do this? What's the point?
What?
Why are you doing this?
What's that, though?
Why are you doing this?
Murillo.
Yeah, what about? He's offside.
He's fantastic. What a centre-back he is.
Wolves nil,
Not had such a good
Brentford
time
nil.
this year.
He's been all right.
No, not such
Murillo?
a good time this year. Look at this. Look at this. Look. So Palace are doing a... Hey, what's going on here? What are we watching? This is Liverpool walking out and receiving a guard of honour from Crystal Palace. Virgil van Dijk leads the way. The guard of honour is... And now Liverpool are stopping. It is exactly what we said. Liverpool are going to stop as they go through.
And they're going to walk through.
And they're going to walk through. And then maybe Palace could start again.
Do it again
Yeah.
till they get to the halfway line. Yeah. It's quite cool, that.
Oh, God.
I don't think... Mate, the champions deserve a...
You don't clap the FA Cup winners. You don't clap the FA Cup winners.
Why did they do this? Dean Henderson has now received the Guard of Honour at Anfield.
That wouldn't happen
Nothing
if that
will
was
ever
Man
change
City.
this.
Do you think Man City get one for winning the FA Cup this season?
No.
Man City didn't get one
Yeah,
2 years ago.
It up.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
That is so stupid.
That is so stupid.
What's
Like
more
Liverpool
stupid?
are the
That-
only team in the country that deserve... Did Newcastle get one today, actually?
Yeah, they
That's
won the
what I was
League
about to say.
Cup.
What-
Who did Newcastle playing? Everton. I wonder if
Everton.
Everton... Although Everton, maybe they deserve one
No, but
because
then
they've
Newcastle
left
would have been
Goodison.
getting them in March, wouldn't they?
No, but
This is stupid.
This
We're-
is stupid.
Before, very ever rarely saw a Guard of Honour.
Just give it to the league winner.
It was just...
If you win the league before the end of the season, you get a Guard of Honour. That's the rule. That's the end of the rule. That's it.
Yeah, what a load of rubbish. Utter woke nonsense, man.
What a load of rubbish.
Give me 4-4-2 and Barclays all day long. Barclays prime football, yeah? All day long.
We got us...
100%.
Barclays.
Woke nonsense playing 3-4-3, and we got Spurs and Man United in the Europa League final. They're both 16th and 17th.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's rubbish.
That's not the issue. The
Football
issue
used to be
is
good.
all these fucking Guards of Honours. City
Who's
have
this?
scored.
Neto.
Yes, yeah.
Gundogan scored.
We're in the Champions League, baby.
As it stands, City
Gundogan
are
scored,
third.
has he?
City are
That's a
third.
big goal for him as well.
That's annoying.
And according to Sky text commentary,
That's a ridiculous foul from Neto.
this is a special goal. That's what he said.
Why?
I don't know.
Who? Gundogan.
What, for what it represents?
Do
or
some
for-
punditry based off that.
Yeah, make
explanation
it
of the
make
goal.
sense.
Well,
Go on,
it's a
Buvey.
special touch from Gundogan. He tucks it into in between the posts, and it's a massive goal for City's Champions League dream.
And what does
next
it mean
season.
to him? Is it his final goal
It's,
for
a,
the club?
it's,
Is
a
it-
potential final goal and a huge climax for what has been a legendary career at Manchester City Football Club.
Is he with you next season?
I think he is. I think there's been yeah. There's a chance that he stays as well.
There's a chance that he doesn't, though.
His contract's been triggered.
You know what
for
I
another
say? Give him
year.
a Guard of Honour.
Yeah, he
Give him a Guard of
deserves.
Honour.
Can't be quite sure.
Man, I expected a Guard of Honour today from you two, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I want one now.
Yeah.
I want
We're
one.
the only 3 people in the country that didn't get a Guard of Honour today.
Why would Liverpool give the FA Cup winners a Guard of Honour?
I have no idea. On their
Seriously.
day as well.
And if they play
on
Man
the day
City,
that
they wouldn't do it to Man
on
City.
on their day, it's a day about Liverpool.
You can't pick and choose. Liverpool would never have done that for Man City.
Palace have got
Never.
some front, haven't they? Like Palace should have gone, okay, that's a nice and slightly weird gesture, Liverpool. But no, thank you.
No, they
It's
should have
your
done like
day.
that. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
We're not receiving a Guard of Honour from you
Forrest,
the day that you win the league. Shut up, you.
I want Forrest
It's
to
like
win.
someone proposing to someone at someone else's wedding.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
So what are you
Or
doing?
that
wearing,
happen?
wearing white at someone
happens,
else's
yeah.
wedding.
That's the white thing I've heard of that.
Wearing
before, but
white.
I've never heard of anyone proposing at someone else's
No,
wedding.
It
Is that
would
a
be
thing?
terrible.
Is that a thing? Have you ever
I've
heard
seen
that ever
it
happening?
on social media.
It would be terrible. You can't do
What,
things
is that
like
worse than proposing at someone's funeral? Honestly, is that worse or?
As long as you're not proposing to the
Do you-
fella
do
in
you
the
know-
box.
do you
you're
know
all
Your,
right.
your uncle's
Do you know
died, but
what?
let's get married,
Do
baby.
you know what? I love funerals.
What?
They're so good. They're a great drink.
Hey, mate, you should have went to Old Trafford today. Bro. I was okay now.
Mate, you have a great drink at a funeral. You really do.
Yeah, there's a good... Yeah.
The wake of a funeral, always good fun.
The food always tastes better as well.
If I go, yeah,
you're
you're
scared
hungry.
to ask for food throughout the day.
Also, you're really hungry because you know what
And
happens. at
crying is a
funeral?
hungry business.
They always have it very early, don't they? Right. So you've had breakfast at home. You've had breakfast at 8. Funeral starts at what? Half 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
By the time you get to, you've done your bit at the crematorium and you've all the grave. By the time you get in the pub, it's going to be half 1. You're hungry. Get to there. Everyone's drinking. You have a Guinness. The vocal cords loosen up a bit. Suddenly a bit less hungry.
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock. Everyone's dressed nicely. I'm having a time of my life.
Yeah.
You
In
forget why
my
you're there.
will,
break.
I think everyone has to sing Angels by Robbie Williams. That's in my will.
You have to sing Abide With Me at mine, like the FA Cup final.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was a homage to the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
You have to sing Abide With Me.
Maybe Let Me Entertain You, actually, by Robbie Williams. I think maybe that instead.
No, you can't sing
No,
that.
it's in my will, Ross. You have to.
No, I won't sing that.
It's legally binding.
It's a crap song.
It's legally binding.
really
it's in my
crap
will.
song. No.
You can't deny dead man's wishes.
I can't deny dead man's wishes. Dead man's wishes.
Come on, Forrest.
Shut
Do
up,
it for
Buvey.
Robin Hood, man. Robin
Come
Hood.
on, you trees.
Oh, it's not a foul.
Come on,
God's
you
sake, man.
trees.
I'm trying to think of famous people from Nottingham.
Okay, this is a
Robin
quick
Hood.
bit. Robin Hood. Maid
I've already
Marian.
done that.
Friar Tuck. Friar Tuck. Maid Marian.
They're
Sheriff, the
fictional
Sheriff
characters.
of Nottingham. Centre Parks.
Centre Parks. Yeah.
Centre Parks. Nottingham. Who's famous? And oh, I know who. Shane Meadows. All those films. You know,
This
all
is
those
a
Northern
Hebrew.
He'd
films.
say he's from Derby, wouldn't he?
Shane Meadows not from Nottingham.
I think he'd say he's from Derby.
Mary.
I thought he was
I
not.
might be wrong.
Raw.
Mary Earps. Okay. Anyone else?
Mary Earps.
Stuart
the footballer.
Broad.
She's fantastic footballer.
Is that who?
Two-footed.
Carl Frutch.
Oh, yeah.
Carl
He's
Froch,
a
of course.
Forest fan as well.
Carl Froch.
He had a fight in the Forest ground, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, one of his big fights was in the Forest ground. Or the City ground.
Who's that? Tommy Innit.
Who are these
Is
people?
that a real name?
Okay.
Andy Cole.
Andy Cole's not from Nottingham.
He is.
Well, he is. It says on Google.
Andy Cole's not from
He is. He is. He is.
Where's Morgan?
Because he ended his career at Forest.
Did
Andy
he?
Cole's from
No,
Nottingham.
he didn't. He ended
was
his
at
career
Arsenal.
at
He
Portsmouth.
No,
played for
sorry. He
Arsenal.
wanted to join Forest towards the end of his career.
He ended his
Andy
career at
Cole's,
Portsmouth.
Andy Cole.
Yeah, born in Nottingham. Place of birth, Nottingham.
Oh, Lenny James. Lenny James, a geezer. I like Lenny James.
Lenny
Samantha
James, what,
Morgan.
He didn't
commentary?
end his career at Nottingham. Why did you make me doubt myself, man?
What are you on about?
What are you on about?
Why
I
you
said
make
he
me
played
doubt
for
myself?
Portsmouth. No, I said he played for Portsmouth.
Yeah, he went to Forest last, man.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's
I
good
don't
football
think he is
knowledge.
from Nottingham.
He is. It says on
He
Google.
doesn't speak
I'm
with a
literally
Nottingham
on
accent.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, but okay.
Google's a 50 billion quid
Yeah,
company
but
about
then you
getting
got to
things
realise
right.
he went to Bristol, Arsenal
He's at
very
Arsenal
early.
young, yeah.
Come on, Forest. Come on, you trees. Have you heard
See
this
the playoff
absolute-
final.
Yeah, but have you heard this absolute nonsense? Enzo Fernandez been linked with Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's forever linked with Real Madrid. He's forever linked with Real
What are they
Madrid.
smoking over there at the Bernabeu?
He's the kind of player that could do quite well for them.
in that league. They need someone to replace Modric. He might be happy on the bench to start off. Do you know what I mean? He's not like a big.
Yeah, he's not Modric.
Does anyone know
No, of
the
course not,
answer
but,
to
you know-
how good is Modric in terms of where he ranks in like La
I think he
Liga?
sits at the top table.
But is he, as a Real Madrid icon, is he better than Zidane?
No, he's
Like,
not.
do you
he's
know
not
if-
that
As an
footballer.
individual player, no, but people might.
Legacy might be different.
Is he
Yeah.
better than Zidane as a footballer?
No,
Do you not think?
no. Zidane's the greatest of all time midfield,
Is he more?
Do you
in my
think?
opinion.
Really?
I think he's the greatest midfielder of all time. Isn't he?
Do you think that Modric, if you're a Real Madrid fan, do you think that he, when you do your like greatest ever 11s, do you think they have Zidane or Modric or both?
Maybe it's both.
But then there's a lot to leave.
Then you
out.
got
Then
Kaká.
Kaká never
no,
hit the heights.
Can't be Kaká.
He played for them.
Yeah, but it
But
can't
he
be
never
You
Kaká
got
at Real Madrid.
Zidane. You got Makaleli.
No, it's all. It's
Toni
that
Kroos.
team. It's that team. The
You got
era
Tommy
before.
Gravesen.
It's the team the era before that were brilliant. Seedorf,
Seedorf was great. Cambiasso was there.
Guti, a
Guti,
bit
yeah.
further forward maybe.
Zidane's the greatest midfielder.
Oh, Slabhead!
Figo.
Oh my God!
Oh.
If United scored, then Slabhead would have went down in history.
Villa could be out. Oh,
Did you see that from Maguire?
No.
what do you mean history? What do you mean history?
Mate, watch this from Maguire. I have to show it again. It's fucking nuts. Swear he megged someone.
The loads
Lads,
on the
pointless
pitch.
acting all fucking like you care now, you twats.
Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? To,
28
Watch
trophies
this. Watch
for
this from
Modric.
Maguire.
Where is he?
I'm watching. Where's okay?
Where
It's
is he?
coming in.
Back post, on back
Back
post.
post, Maguire.
Watch.
Oh, touch.
Nice.
Oh my
Oh!
God. That's like Leon. That's like Leon.
He's actually got skills.
Wow.
Lots of offside players there.
Yeah,
If
I think
United
the
beat
goal
Villa-
might have stood if it went in directly from that.
Mate, Villa deserves some credit. If they don't beat Man United, Villa deserve massive criticism this season. They lost to Palace in the FA Cup.
God.
You know,
Luka Modric, 6 Champions Leagues, 4 La Ligas,
6?
6. I think he's above
Mate,
Zidane.
for some reason I thought 4.
Lads, I think he's above Zidane.
not as a player, please.
I don't think this is.
Is he their most decorated ever player?
No,
That'll be like.
Yeah,
no, but won't
He's
it
the
be?
most decorated player in Real Madrid history.
Yeah, but it's still Zidane. It's
That's
not like
on
we're
their
saying.
website.
But we're not. I mean, this is Zidane.
From a year
Ask
ago.
any footballer. They always say Zidane's the greatest they ever played against.
Yeah, but
Ask
they might
anyone.
not. The
Beckham
players,
said it,
the players
Gerrard
that played
Beckham said
against Zidane wouldn't have played against Modric.
4 league
No,
titles,
but-
6 European Cups.
Zidane's better than Modric. I mean, that's an easy shot. It's one of the easiest shots
No,
you ever
but
have.
we've got.
I don't know. I'm surprised because usually it's me going the old timer,
Yeah.
and you going nah. It's the, whereas on this one, I feel like we're being very dismissive of Modric.
Not his legacy. He's probably a better Real Madrid legend than Zidane. I'm not saying that, but as a footballer, Zidane's the greatest of all time midfield.
Well, you know, if you did a La Liga 11, is Modric in a La Liga 11, or do you think it's
Xavi?
just the Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta?
I think it might have to be. Yeah.
So no Modric, no Cruz,
No, Zidane.
Casemiro,
Put Iniesta
no
left
Zidane.
wing. Wait, what are you on about? You guys are dumb. Honestly, you got one brain cell. You got one. Alpha's laugh as well. Lads, what is there? There's one GCSE between all of you lot. One GCSE, yeah? Zidane's a legend in France. Zidane's a legend in Italy. You don't know anything about football. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Zidane's the greatest footballer of all time in midfield. I've said that. What?
Wait, where
I still hold on to it. Whoa. Zidane's better than
Zidane
Xavi.
is the greatest midfielder of all time. You could never leave Zidane out of any team.
Yeah.
Who's in the Liga all-time midfield? Probably Xavi, Iniesta,
You've got
Busquets.
one brain cell. You've got one brain cell.
Look at his
You've actually got one brain
Pedro
cell.
while you're at it. You might laugh at
What,
this.
we
as
scored?
well. No, you ain't scored. Watch this.
Neto. Neto. Look at this. 50 mil for this. Down the drain.
Do you remember Neto, the shop? With the horse on the back?
No.
Mate, Buvey, that was
No
fun.
one shot. Yeah, you did it.
That was funny.
Yeah, but Zidane's an Italian legend as well. Juve, France national side winning the World Cup in '98. You're chatting gas, man. Zidane's better than Xavi. Zidane's better than Iniesta. Easy. Bush gets different
in
positions.
an all-time La Liga 11.
Yeah, because he. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my God! Why are we trying to pass it into the net? Who
Oh
the fuck
God,
do we-
come on, Chelsea, wake up!
Come on, Forest.
How in behind they are every time. Win the 50th
You see,
second
Specs
ball.
finally beat Chris Wood the other day.
Is that a shot?
Oh,
Got gassed.
Trying it against our keeper.
Elliot
That's just
Anderson.
disrespectful, isn't it? Chelsea fans going to him. Mate, that's a disrespect, isn't it? To have a shot from there in a game of this magnitude.
it was a bad cross, wasn't it? Surely.
No, I think he's shot. I think he's seen the keeper.
That's a shot.
He's trying to.
That's a shot.
Wow.
That's a shot.
That's
Look at
embarrassing.
look at his eyes when he.
Everything about that is a shot.
He should have done better then, shouldn't he? Am I being harsh?
Not that bad of an effort.
No, that's
No.
not too bad, actually.
Mate, also, you know when Robert Sanchez decided then that he judged it correctly to let it go, that's when I suddenly go, oh God. Lovely feet, Madueke.
Yeah, you can't draw this game. You have to, one of these sides have to win the game.
Well,
don't they?
draw,
Really. You can't afford to draw.
Manchester United are all over Villa. What is going on? Why are you suddenly playing?
I think because the game means nothing to us, and Villa will probably be nervous about it, or they would have come here expecting it to, us to be shit, and then because we put in a 5 out of 10 performance, they're a bit caught off guard. I imagine.
What do you mean a fight? What in Bilbao?
No, here.
Oh right, that was 0.
I think they've turned up thinking we're going to be absolutely dog shit.
But a week ago, you said you beat Spurs and you'd lose to Villa. But now you lost to Spurs in the
And I will
Europa League
lose to Villa.
final,
Watch this.
and you're beating.
We
you
don't
could
beat.
beat
We don't
Villa.
win today, man. Relax. Anyway,
What is it?
it's just funny that you got a lot to say. How about
Can I
this?
ask you a question? At
Boof,
least?
Boof,
No,
I've got a question for you. Boof,
Adam,
Boof, I've got a
please,
question for you.
cameras on me.
Boof, I've got a question for you.
Adam, man,
I've got a
Adam,
question for
listen,
you.
man, use your 2 ears, man. Okay, look, what's it like to lose to Spurs in a Europa
Okay,
League
what about this?
final?
All right, what about this? Why is Phil Foden on the bench again, man?
Left out the England squad as well.
Ain't got so much to say
loads
for yourself
of
now.
loads of players have been. There's not
Loads of players have been.
There's
Yeah,
not
but
a single
that's-
United player in the England squad.
that's-
How embarrassing is that?
Look at
How
England.
embarrassing is
Look
that?
at England. He's not in the City 11.
Yeah, look, Jack Grealish isn't featuring today.
Yeah,
Now,
he's
Jack
off.
Grealish are leaving the
But
club.
it's a separate topic for a separate part of the podcast.
You're
In a
right.
By the
few
way,
weeks.
remember when you said about 2-3 months ago you'd still get 100 million for Jack Grealish?
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. You could get 100 mil for Bruno Fernandes, who just lost to Spurs in the Europa League
No, but
final.
Bruno Fernandes
How
might.
embarrassing is that?
That's only if he goes to
Imagine
Saudi.
losing to the Lily Whites in Bilbao in the Europa League. You lost to
Yeah, but
Spurs.
why is Phil Foden
Spurs
on the
have won
bench,
anything in
right?
20 years, and Man United are giving trophies to everyone. They're giving trophies to Villarreal.
Your answer to Adam's question is an interesting one, though. You have to face it a touch. What's going on with Phil Foden? Left out of the English squad, left out of the City team.
It's been one of the
You
worst
can't just
seasons.
talk about Man United.
No, but it's a factor. He brought up 100 million.
factor.
Of course it is.
Yeah, Man United's a factor to this
It's a factor.
discussion about
Booby,
Phil
answer the
Foden.
question about Phil Foden, please.
What do you want me to say? It's a terrible season.
No, I want
I said
you
that
to.
already on the
I
show.
want you to shed. It's not. Oh, right. That's that then. Okay, so thanks for everyone for watching. We've done the Phil Foden chat now. Moving on. What shall we talk about?
It's a shocking end to the season, and Jack Grealish not even featuring as well. He's been completely cut out of the squad, and that's not a good thing. Because he's going to go. I love Jack Grealish. He's going to be gone. Phil Foden, he has to have a real long summer. Hopefully he doesn't feature for England. There's no tournament in the summer as well, and he starts again next season. The only thing I'd say as a City fan, and it's a football fan, he's entitled to have a summer to reset. He's still a relatively young footballer.
He's had all season to reset.
I don't know if that's true. Do you extend that courtesy to every footballer?
I extend the courtesy to the last English player to win the PFA since Wayne Rooney. Yeah, I do actually, because this guy's unbelievably talented, and he's got world-class potential, and he's been really poor this season. Is that not fair?
Yeah, no. A lot of what you said is fair.
Is he not allowed a second chance? What, are we going to... Let's sell him
but this is a player.
Let's sell him to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Buvey, okay, I'm not trolling anymore. But this is a player, yeah, and I've been I've given him huge praise at times. But he's been compared to some of the greatest English midfielders ever.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to bring up his trophies, and that's fine. But he was getting compared to Gerrards and Lampards and all these different players. He was putting up crazy numbers. And it looked like now's his chance. Gundogan's aged. Kevin De Bruyne's off. All these players are no longer as much of a focal point to the City side. So surely the space is there for him to go into it, and he hasn't.
You're right.
He hardly starts the big games anymore.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish is a completely different, separate conversation, which is probably a bit of a madder one, considering he's probably going to leave.
They're also looking to sign either Wirtz or Gibbs White or someone in that role.
They've missed out on Wirtz now. Yeah,
well, Wirtz is gone. Gibbs White, I don't want to spend 100 million quid on that.
White, but
Phil Foden, you need to say to Phil Foden, a fair assessment as a non-City fan would be he's had one of the worst seasons of a PFA Player of the Year award winner we've ever seen.
What about if you just totally take
That's
that context away and just say, has he just had one of the worst seasons? Like he's one of the worst players in the league this season.
No, his drop-off has been one of the worst, from a 10 out of 10 season last season, or a 9 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10.
I don't think he has been
one of the worst players in the Premier League. No, of course not. He'd be Southampton's greatest ever player.
I don't think he has been a 6 out of 10 this season, though. I don't think he's been anywhere near it.
Okay, I think he's been
I'd
give him a 5 out of 10. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. He scored some goals, It's not been great. He's not been... I've seen players that have completely turned off, stopped running. They've refused to train. They want to leave their clubs. And since I've been a football fan,
but
he's not done that. He's tried. He's just not done enough.
Noni Madueke's had a better season than Phil Foden.
No, I disagree with that. They're different positions.
Yeah, they're completely different positions.
Phil Foden started 20 league games this season. That's half of your league games.
Yeah, it's not been good enough. I'm not saying he's had a 10 out of 10 season.
If we're here,
he has to do a lot more next season.
If we're here in a year, is it time to think about him moving on? Like, do you give him another year? If you give him another year.
If it's as bad as this, then he has to have a long, hard think in the summer. But if you can't be a real City fan if you're saying he needs to leave the club now or he's shit. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm not saying you're saying that either.
I was very surprised.
But we have to give this guy a bit of like I saw Hazard take a season off. I've seen loads of players just.
How significant is it, do you think, that Tuchel has left him out of his squad altogether?
But he's brought in Ivan Toney from the Saudi Arabian League. He's brought in Jordan Henderson.
You're better than this, mate. You're debating me by bringing up other bad decisions.
Yeah,
please, because your thoughts on this are interesting for people. But Phil Foden, you think that Thomas Tuchel is assembling a squad that is likely to go to America. Like, he's only in the job for 18 months. So he's getting to know his players now, which is probably why, wrongly, he's got the likes of Tony and Henderson in there. They're experienced, they're proven. He doesn't really care about the future of the country beyond that tournament. So in a year's time, he just wants the players in and around the camp that can do it today. The fact that he hasn't picked Foden is significant, mate.
No, I'd argue that England trying to win the World Cup next summer, the way Phil Foden plays for England, the way he's had this season, it would take a dramatic turnaround for him to influence England to win. Ultimately, England have to win a tournament. England have to win the World Cup. Is he going to start for England? I think he has to be in the 26-man squad. And we've seen far quicker turnarounds of players come out of nowhere, get into an England side. Adam Wharton had 6 good months with Crystal Palace. Jordan Henderson, we can't just. I'm not just trying to kind of dilute the argument for the sake of it, but. This is a manager that's got a lot of stick already from journalists, from England journalists, from England fans that I've seen on social media. I'm an England fan. The Jordan Henderson decision is grim. It's really grim. It takes it backwards. It's not just, he's got experience. This guy didn't even win anything in Holland.
No, I agree.
But
Ivan
putting
Toney.
that to the side, Foden probably doesn't deserve to be in the England squad. Right?
He deserves to be in the 26, 100%. If he has a decent season next season.
Based off for the World Cup, of course. I'm on about right now.
There's an argument he could be in the squad
deserves
now.
to be in it if you believe that he's going to be one of your players that goes to America, which is why I think it's ludicrous to take Tony and Henderson, because I don't think they can go unless, of course, Tuchel is thinking of taking them to America, which...
Like with Phil Foden, right?
I get Tony more than Henderson,
Foden,
but...
innit? You know more. He knows about Phil Foden. It could just be he's not informed right now. I won't select him. He knows about Phil Foden and how good he is.
If it was Sir Bobby Robson talking about Phil Foden, it's a different nat because he's a university loved England manager. This is Thomas Tuchel. I have no idea about this guy's standard as an England manager. I'm still very sceptical about Thomas Tuchel's decision making as an England manager. So I think Phil Foden thing, maybe it's better he doesn't go.
It's got disaster written all over it.
Oh, it has. Of course,
I think
it
it's
has.
got disaster written all over it. This Tuchel appointment.
The only way it works is if he wins the World Cup. If he gets to the final, and loses again, gets to the semi-final, it's a bad.
There's no improvement on Southgate.
Exactly, and we've hired a German to try and get England over the line to win a World Cup. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's completely embarrassing. No, I'm with you.
But Phil Foden, he needs to do a lot more. Of course he does. He has to do a lot more.
Also, do you think that a new look midfield? So is Foden going to benefit massively from having maybe the likes of let's say Morgan Gibbs-White signs, and people keep saying Gibbs-White isn't fit to replace Kevin De Bruyne, which is true. But he isn't really replacing him. He's replacing Bernardo Silva. It'll be the running of Bernardo Silva. And Gibbs-White's wicked at that. I know you and I don't see Gibbs-White through the same lens, but I rate him really highly. I think that Foden, maybe with a new look, reimagined City midfield, it could unleash him again.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what he needs. But there will be no second chances because next year will be a second chance.
Yeah, you can't have 2 seasons off in the Premier League at this level.
Where do you reckon Grealish goes, if he goes?
Forest, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham. That kind of level?
Tottenham. Mate, it's such a Tottenham signing now they're in the Champions League.
Even though they've signed, I know, like Maddison.
Chelsea?
Seemed to be taught before they got Maddison in it.
Chelsea gets
Although
the Champions
Son's
League?
apparently leaving, so he could be a
Son
good
could
replacement
leave,
for Son on the left.
Green.
Whoever gets if Chelsea got into the Champions League, they should be looking at Jack Grealish. He's got Champions League experience.
I agree, but you're looking at it through like football.
Yeah, obviously Todd Bowley's got the young approach. I get that, but anyone. I think as a world, Liverpool could sign. I know you're going to slag me off for saying this, but Liverpool, Arsenal should be looking at Jack Grealish. If they're seriously, he's still got so much. He's one of those naturally gifted footballers I've ever seen produced from this country. He's outrageously good, and he's been played in a system where it doesn't quite suit him. He was unplayable in the treble-winning season, and people slag me off for bringing it up all the
Just
time.
a long time ago, though.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago. He's living on it. I get that.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing. You don't know whether that is why he's no longer any good. He's just probably been on holiday for fucking since.
He keeps getting injuries, and they tried him in midfield this season. Pep Guardiola tried him in the kind of central midfield
not much,
area.
Though. Didn't really give him a fighting chance. Like what he didn't let him do is feel his way into the position. He tried him there. It didn't work, so he got him out of there. You're like, it's probably going to take more than like 2 90 minutes.
No, Pep got a lot wrong this season as well. I'll say one of them is that, and certainly the FA Cup final was an issue as well. He's playing Vardy at left back today as well.
Tierney.
Arsenal scored.
Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Final day of the season, eh? Right, we just need to win this game. It's been cagey, isn't it? Nothing's really happened. No real chances.
What's the one chance? Anderson? Is that even a chance?
Stands, based off the other
Neto.
results, if Forest were to score, they do go fourth.
Wow.
If they score, they go fourth.
As
As things stand, are Chelsea in the top 5?
You're fifth.
Yeah, fine.
A Villa goal or a Forest goal changes that for you.
Oh, wait, where's City?
You're fine. You know that. You're fine now. I don't think you've got anything to worry about. You're not really.
Newcastle.
You and Newcastle will be 3rd and 4th. And then it will be Chelsea with Forest and Villa capable.
Let's say Newcastle, Forest and Villa scored and City conceded an equal.
Ah!
Oh my God.
What happened?
Chris Wood
missed a sitter.
He missed a sitter.
Great ball from Aina. Yeah. Oh, God. Chris Wood's got to score that, hasn't he? Oh, Jesus.
So the ball's sent out wide here to Ola Aina. Ola Aina with a good cross. The keeper's probably just put him off, but he should be scoring that, really.
What's he doing?
He shinned it. He shinned it. What's
the keeper doing?
If he just puts his side foot on that, it's an open goal, isn't it?
The keeper's come out of a weird angle, doesn't he?
Shocking keeping. Yeah, any touch, it goes in.
Any
soft touch,
less than the touch he got on it.
Yeah. His goal scoring's dried up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Forest form. I think Forest won 5 or 6 in a row in January, and then didn't win consecutive games until now.
Yeah, no, they went through a really bad. They had 5 games in a row without a victory as well when it really mattered.
They almost went too early in the season. You want to win 6 in a row now, don't you?
Did you see they banned Gary Neville from this game?
Yeah.
I thought that was awful. I really did. I thought it was awful.
It's funny because
You can't start picking and choosing, can you?
You can't do that. It's
Also,
freedom of
Sky
speech,
Sky pays so much money
Yeah.
for these games.
Also,
Sky should get fined, I think.
Sky can't. You can't have a situation where clubs dictate who commentates on their games.
No, it's just going to be like a Chelsea legend at Stamford Bridge, a City legend at the Etihad.
Oh God, where's our midfield?
It's a shit ball.
poor from
Pay it
Gibbs
on the
White.
left.
that was real
Shit
poor from
ball.
Gibbs White.
Mate, we need half time. We really, really need half time.
White.
You're not a fan, are you, Boo?
Not for 100 mil. Not De Bruyne. Please look at this. That's the wrong ball all day long. All day long, it's the wrong ball.
Yeah, no, that was a bad. You're right. That was a bad decision making from Gibbs White. We really need half time here.
You showed nothing.
Yeah,
You showed nothing.
yeah. It was poor form though, wasn't it? Marianakis and that banning Gary Neville. Really,
Strange.
really poor form.
Strange.
Because also, it's just brought the whole thing back into the light. Like, if they just allowed him to do his job.
Yeah. It's the Streisand effect, isn't it?
A Streisand effect, absolutely. Yeah. Do you think that it's going to create more?
No, I think
think
we
Manchester
should.
United are in
oh
here.
my God, that's a red.
That's a red card for
surely.
the Martinez going
I
to be
mean,
sent
why
off.
has it wiped him out? He's not going to score, the idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
Martin
it's a
has
red
a
card.
That's
Villa
off
down
for
10 men,
Villa.
that's good news.
Mate, he's absolutely cleared out Rasmus Højlund, who's gone round the keeper, but he's never going to score. He took himself to the corner flag.
That's
Mate,
really good
get
news.
up, man.
Villa down to 10 men.
That's actually pretty good news, isn't it? Yeah.
It's good news. I don't think it's too relevant
has
to
it
you
been-
anymore.
It's a yellow for
I'm out.
Diallo, yeah.
Why has Diallo got a
A
yellow?
bit too mouthy, I think, with the ref.
No, I think him and one of the Villa players got into it a bit.
Hospital
Terrible. Is that
Matty Cash.
Cash? Mate, you just let him go, don't you? You let him go and sprint back to your goal because he's not going to score from there.
The keepers just don't think like that, do
His
they?
eyes are all on him as well.
Yeah, no, it's a complete. He's literally wiped him out. It's stupid.
Oh, that's a big hit as well.
It's a big hit.
That's
Yeah.
a big old hit. That's like Gladiator.
Yeah.
Get Cheeto.
It's the gauntlet on
He's one of the better
Gladiators.
refs, this guy, for sure. But
Ahmad kind of waved in his and told him to get off.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a booking, should it? Saying get on with the game, get off the pitch.
is it defo red? Yeah.
It's defo red.
Yeah, stomp.
Why are Man United suddenly demonstrating an element of fight on the final day of the season with nothing to fight for?
Because pressure's what kills you, isn't it?
Pressure against Tottenham Hotspur haven't won anything in 20 years.
No, but it's not about the pressure of Tottenham. It's about the stage and
So
everything.
if Chelsea and Forest draw and Villa get beat, we can both. No, there's not room for both of us. So it will be us, won't it?
There's no top 6, unfortunately.
As it stands, Villa are 6.
So we will get there on goal difference. Oh my God, we'll get there on goal difference.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
That'd be cheeky. You need a goal just to
But
make
what
sure.
is interesting now is, assuming, I mean, stranger things can happen than a 10-men side beating Manchester United. But assuming Villa don't win this game, Forest Chelsea is now a winner takes all.
Yeah.
Forest Chelsea is a winner takes all. Yeah.
And Newcastle and City.
And-
so
and
Because
that-
Forest aren't in Champions League spots.
And that message is going to be very much put into the minds of the both players in the dressing rooms now, aren't they? Villa are drawing and down to 10 men. So suddenly you're going to have a situation where the Forest players know that it's in their hands. Chelsea know that it's in our hands. We get the draw, but they're at home. This
That's
is
a
about
problem
as
for you.
finely poised. Pardon?
Because Maresca's going, a draw is good enough. And
Yeah,
what
that's
does
not-
that
you
do
can't
to his
risk it.
team talk? Do
Can't risk it.
you know what I
No,
mean? When he
we-
goes, all right, just...
Chelsea aren't good enough to grind up. They have to go for the win.
No, but
That's
Maresca
their
thinks
way.
they are that kind of team.
Yeah. That's why this is so poignant, isn't it? Because it's on a knife edge. We've got the benefit of the draw, but they're the home team. What would you rather be in this situation? Would you rather be at home
I'd rather
or
be
have the
Forest.
draw? You'd rather be Forest and have 45 minutes to win the game rather than Chelsea and have the draw?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure about
No, I'd
that.
rather be. I'd rather,
I'm not
I'd
sure
rather be
about
Forest against this.
You don't have to
Chelsea.
try and score. Scoring's harder than just keeping a 0-0. Yeah, I'd rather be.
Okay, who do you think? Do you think Forest are the favourites to win this game in the second 45 minutes? That's what I'm basing my decision on.
Yeah.
I think Forest are the favourites with 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think you might be right. So all the games are now half time anyway. So big 45 minutes to come. Looks like you've missed out on Florian Wirtz, Buvey.
Yeah, you've been speaking about him all season. Like
Yeah,
he's gonna be
and,
De
and he
Bruyne.
does this as well.
Been saying he's fantastic.
Florian Wirtz, baby.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to say Liverpool go from strength to strength, and they've arguably already won the transfer window. They've signed one of the most prodigious young talents in world football that Germany have certainly created, maybe since someone like Goetze, and they've spent a lot of money on him. Also, that money doesn't look as bad because they haven't spent any money last summer, so it almost feels like a discounted rate. This kid is absolutely unbelievable. He's explosive.
What's the deal?
I think it's 125 million euros potential with more add-ons. Obviously, the most expensive signing of all time, ahead of Alisson, Van Dijk, £50 million more than both of those players. But it's a deal that, for me, makes a lot of sense. You can see it into that midfield. McAllister, maybe a little bit deeper with Gravenberch. It'd be one of the great midfields of this era of football. It's an outrageously good midfield. And he's, 22 years old? One of the best players in Germany, helped Leverkusen win the league title a few years ago. His goal record is outstanding. Even in the Champions League this season, 6 goals in 9 appearances in the Champions League. I think he's a Premier League player waiting to go.
And what do we think? Like proper Liverpool number 7?
Yeah.
Suarez, Keegan.
Yeah, I think so.
Wirtz.
He's flexible as well. He could play as a false 9. I'm not saying you want to play him there because he's a number 10, but you could play him as a false 9 and pack the midfield. Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai still have a role to play in the Liverpool midfield, as well as Gravenberch and McAllister. It's outrageous.
It's mad, isn't it, as well? Because the one thing that people are saying about what Trent Alexander-Arnold brings to this Liverpool team, like we know that there are some flaws to Alexander-Arnold's game, but what there is no discussion about is what he can bring in a creative sense, creativity. How are Liverpool going to replace the creativity that will be felt by the departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold? And suddenly you go, that's Wirtz, isn't it? The creativity, the creative spark, the unpredictable talent. That's what Wirtz is going to bring to this team.
Also, with players like that, you tend to kind of assume that they don't do much off the ball. But his off-the-ball work rate and everything is made for the Premier League.
Supremely fit.
All of his, when you tick down the boxes, he's a Premier League player. Whether that translates to the Premier League, obviously it's a big step up.
It's a gamble, isn't it? It's always a gamble.
Change of styles, big money, all those different things could contribute to kind of adding pressure to a signing. But he's joining the champions. What better, circumstance to go in on? There's not much pressure on you when you're going in and playing.
It's a great team to walk into as well. Feelings high. It's been the perfect year for Liverpool. They've had 4 guards of honour. They've watched their biggest rivals finish nearly in the relegation zone. They've watched their biggest rivals win no silverware. They have signed Mohamed Salah, the best player in the league. They've signed Virgil van Dijk, the best defender in the league. They have pinched a player from Man City, from under the nose of Man City, it feels like, which feels significant but almost Machiavellian.
Well, it feels like Van Persie to Man United all over again.
Yeah.
It feels like it could be the kind of... Because if Wirtz comes in and suddenly just replaces De Bruyne, City could be getting back to sort of 95 points next season. And now City have to go, who are we going to get in instead? And that's a big, big issue now. Liverpool can go from strength to strength. They could be finished on 95 plus points.
If they end up signing that Kirkes, who's a very good player, which everybody seems to think they will. If they sign that Kirkes, they add Wirtz, they bring in a striker, Frimpong. I mean,
although I am interested to see what Frimpong looks like in a back four, more full-back kind of state. But he could just be used at home when you've got most of the possession and you want your right back to kind of...
You've got Conor Bradley, you can always play at right back.
Bit more defensive duel.
Yeah, that's a good shout, yeah.
Really good signing, Florian Wirtz. And also there's talk of Luis Diaz leaving. So that money could kind of almost be allocated.
He's a good player, Diaz. They shouldn't let him
go to Barcelona.
I'd let Jota go instead or Nunes.
Yeah, Jota and Nunes.
And
don't let Diaz is excellent. They'd be
what's
wild
their front three going to look like next season?
They need a new centre forward. Wirtz will be behind.
Kind of like in the
Wirtz will be behind.
10 kind of half space.
Wirtz, Gravenberch, McAllister in a game against Brentford at home.
Yeah.
But in the Champions League, they're going to have a real think about their midfield because they don't have a ball winner still. I don't think McAllister's a ball winner.
Do you play Wirtz as a false 9 but deeper?
Yeah, false 9. You could, and then I still think they need a ball winner.
What would you say his major skill is? From what you've seen of Wirtz, what do you think he's like? Ball carrying. Is that his thing? Driving forward, winning you ground.
Yeah. Getting the ball in the half turn, exploding away from people with pace, with physicality. You know, someone like Musiala is a little bit slow, a little bit more controlling of the game. But Wirtz is explosive. He's dynamic. He's robust. I thought he was good for Germany, even though they had a really underwhelming Euros last summer. I think he's perfect for the Premier League.
He fits in everywhere along that line as well, which is good for them. Can play as I know you're not going to always see him. He can play as a false 9, play off the left, right, attacking midfielder, play deeper if you want to. Be interesting to see where he does finally settle into that team. It's a big signing.
And apparently he rejected Bayern as well.
And Real Madrid were apparently in for him, although...
He rejected Bayern and Man City.
Real Madrid wanted to spend 100 million on a player.
Mate, this could be like this is excellent from Liverpool, isn't it? Like if you were a Liverpool fan here, you're going to be over the moon because what they're doing is exactly what you should do. We always talk about it, strengthening when you're strong, and they are obviously very strong at the moment. And it seems like they're wasting no time.
And they could be probably criticised for when they had Jurgen Klopp and they won things. They didn't
not
really
making the most of it.
Yeah. You know, when they could have.
Yeah. I think it's got to the
They want
stage now where
21.
you can't do that.
That's what my fear is.
Well,
They're gearing up.
They've already got it.
I also think retaining the Premier League. It's such a difficult thing to do. It really is.
Well, Wenger's great sides never did it. Klopp never did it.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So
Dan
they'll
Beasley did it
be
with
looking.
Blackburn.
They'll be looking now to retaining the league, and the way that it's shaping up. I mean, you can't really see beyond them as things stand, can you? Obviously, there's a lot of twists and turns to come. Manchester City are going to start making their moves, but
Yeah, if Rodri doesn't come back, to the
How
form-
close was he to City? Like, is this?
No,
Did
he's-
this shock you? When
Well, he did a tour of the northwest of England. So he did a tour of Liverpool. He did a tour with Man City in terms of the training ground. He met with Pep, but then he's met with Liverpool as well. He's looked at houses in
But
Liverpool.
does that
So
worry you that someone's opted for?
I
for
can never,
Liverpool
as
over
a City fan, I'm never going to sit here. But if it's Liverpool, if it's like a different club, it's a
could
different
be because
situation.
of Frimpong though. It
Yeah,
could be
Frimpong's a big
part of
situation.
that.
But if
Also,
Liverpool
Klopp
come in
might
for
have
you-
played a part. Klopp could have easily played a part here, couldn't he?
I think Liverpool offered him 330 grand a week. I think City didn't want to do that. I think City pulled out in terms of the money as well. I don't think City were prepared to bid 125 million quid either. So I think Liverpool have outbid the market, and it just feels like a natural fit as well. I think Arne Slot, I think it just fits perfectly. The issue is Marmoush has come in, Phil Foden's there, Jack Grealish is there, Bernardo, Gundogan. You don't know where you're
Most
going
of
to
them ain't,
start.
like-
No, but
A lot of them are going to
a
look
lot
good,
of
but we
those
don't know.
Gundogan, Bernardo,
don't
Grealish
know.
probably not there next year.
Yeah, we don't. Liverpool, it's a settled squad. There aren't loads of coming ins and outs. It's like
No, you can understand why anybody chooses to go to this Liverpool team,
Yeah.
which is now taken us full circle as to why I think it's such a bad time for Alexander-Arnold to leave it. You know, I think,
But we talk about Trent's creativity. I'd rather have my number 10 be creative, or my.
I completely
like
agree.
the right back thing. It's a luxury having your right back be like Trent. I honestly, I don't think they'll look back.
do you think this could be like the beginning of a potential new Liverpool dynasty? I'm beginning to think it could.
worryingly. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very obviously there's a fear of that, and the way they're strengthening from a position of strength is obviously worrying for a Man United fan, but also it's a very competitive league. Like City you'd expect to get back up there. Arsenal will probably do some business this summer, but Liverpool's moves so far are very impressive and very worrying.
It's impressive the way they've just gone out and got it done. Like the season is still not actually finished.
Yeah, and Frimpong's
Like the Champions League final has not yet
What you
been
want,
played.
man. Remember 07? We won the league in 07, won it back. And then before the 07-08 season, even really, the summer hadn't started yet, and we announced Carlos Tevez,
Yeah.
Hargreaves, Anderson, Nani, and it was like, right, we're going again. And that's it, your summer's done.
Yeah.
You're not even worried about or thinking about any signings or anything. That's what
Pre-season.
you need, man.
Just get it done.
They'll be thinking to win it's not just about winning the Premier League to retain it. I think your point's spot on about retaining it for Liverpool, but winning the Champions League. They were so good in the first half of the Champions League campaign, and they'd be gutted about the way they lost to PSG. So they'll be thinking, can we win the Premier League and the Champions League next season? They'll be
in
a
a
big
position to
side.
do big business as well.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they didn't spend a lot. They didn't spend much last summer. They didn't spend anything, apart from Federico Chiesa. And then you look at this summer, they're already making big moves for Wirtz. Then you
Right.
got Darwin Núñez is going to go for big money.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz will get a
Jota
fee.
could
Jota
go,
might get
yeah.
a fee. So then they go in again, and they're going to have a lot of money,
yeah.
man.
Also, imagine Szoboszlai desperate to get to that Champions League final. Over the moon, wouldn't he? Imagine.
Is in Hungary.
Yeah, it's Budapest, isn't it? Puskás.
Oh, the next one, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but it's Istanbul for the Europa League, Budapest for the Champions League final.
That'd be good.
Tell you
Big
what, it's
fan.
And they got the new keeper coming in as well, which is a small thing, but
Mamardashvili.
he's one of the best keepers in Europe.
Yeah. No, I mean it's huge. Do you think anybody else could leave? I saw something about McAllister potentially being linked to Real Madrid, but I don't know why you leave.
No, I
don't know why you leave
I think he
Liverpool.
loves it there, doesn't
No,
he?
you know why? People leave Liverpool. For Real Madrid, I mean by that sense. Maybe just interesting.
Maybe next summer. I don't know. Ahead of the World Cup.
They would be mad to let him leave now, though. McAllister had a good season.
No, but I think when Real Madrid come, it's not because you want to let a player leave. It's because
Yeah.
they want to go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. It'd be very interesting to see how it all pans out. That's for sure.
But
But
after
Liverpool are
seeing
looking.
what Trent's going to get, he'll probably think, let me leave it a year.
Yeah.
Let the shit die down a bit.
Yeah. Although it would be treated, you'd be treated very differently. Like Alexis McAllister, I think anybody that's either Iberian or South American, you can kind of understand the Real Madrid thing. It doesn't make sense to me for a Scouser to talk like that. Like, you know, people go, you never say no to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are a club that everybody dreams of playing for. I was like, I'm basically the same as Trent Alexander-Arnold. I just grew up in London. He grew up in Liverpool. I literally never dreamed of playing for Real Madrid.
It's like, I know Beckham left to go Real Madrid, but
he wanted a brand.
Also, he went once Fergie was like, you're not staying anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like, he got forced into that move almost.
Pretty much. And also, he wanted that celebrity lifestyle, which maybe that's part of the reason that Trent Alexander-Arnold
is like with that, when you join Real Madrid, it's not just about that though. That adds to it, and you will be a celebrity.
I think money and celebrity also, and brand.
You're not giving up footballing success. You know what I mean?
No, you're not giving up footballing success. But the point is giving up because you're already having footballing success. If you aren't having,
no, I totally see where you
know if you're playing for Everton, a team that haven't won a trophy since 1995, and your Everton's best player in Real Madrid come knocking for you, I get it. I just don't get it when you're leaving the team that are champions. You know. I didn't see this coming though, did you? Liverpool. Did you think they would be spending like this as diligently as this?
Well, one side of me goes, it is a big risk though as well.
In what sense?
It's a very attractive signing, and obviously he's a fantastic footballer, but he's very young. It's big money, big wages. It's got all the recipes as well for a failure. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be huge. I can't wait. It's weird, isn't it? One season ends and you go, I can't wait for the new season.
Yeah, wow, I can.
What you can't do in our prediction video is ever again say 21 is coming.
You bet I'll say it.
You can't. No, it's banned. It's banned. You can't say it.
Yeah, exactly. When I say it this time, it'll be for Liverpool.
No, you can't. Right, mate, we just need to make sure that we're in with a hunt of making it into the Champions League, because I would love to see Chelsea win a European Cup in the Puskás Arena in Budapest. Remember, it is the final game day of the Premier League today. Sky Bet have a couple of boosts and offers that you have to have a look at. You will take your fancy. First up, in the Chelsea versus Forest game, they have doubled the odds for Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and for Cole Palmer to have one shot on target each. So if Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White and Palmer have one shot on target each, they have doubled the odds on that, which sounds fairly plausible to me. And with the teams looking to end the season on a high, they've boosted each game to have over 1.5 goals. Have a look at it. It's so impressive what they've done. The odds are quite striking.
Yeah. And I know you wanted to speak about this earlier. By the way, thank you to Sky Bet. 18 plus T's and C's apply. Be gamble aware. I know you wanted to speak about this earlier. A super chat has just brought it to our chat. Where's Sunderland finishing, lads? Asked Tyler. Obviously, playoff final.
I mean, the easiest thing for us to do here is go Sunderland finish 17th.
Yeah, it'd be sad. It's a sad prediction to make.
Yeah, I mean, 17th at best.
Yeah, unless they can be robust, unless they can be a little bit more dynamic. Their manager, from what I've seen, is prepared to pump it long. Yeah, I don't think he's this kind of philosophical manager in the same way Vincent Kompany was, Russell Martin. I think he'd be a little bit more pragmatic.
I'd love him to do well. And I think, do you know, I think it's too easy now to go 3 up, 3 down. I don't think that happens. I know it's happened for the last 2 years, but I don't think it happens. I think somebody gets dragged into it next year. Somebody else. Somebody
Who is
weird.
What's your initial gut saying?
Do you think there could be a surprise package? Real surprise.
What, of the ones that... Do you mean of the incumbents?
No, in terms of this is a ridiculous game. The season's not even finished. But we predict our we talk about the relegated teams from next season. So it's mental.
Brentford, if they lose in
That kind of thing. Is there something unsustainable about what Brentford and Brighton...
What Ham United?
Potter.
Wolves?
But look, if someone gets dragged into it, that's what needs to happen for the likes of Leeds, Sunderland to survive. That's what needs to happen. Like Burnley, I feel like Burnley are in a good shout. Scott Parker.
They're robust, aren't they? They're pragmatic.
Well, they're coming up, and they're quite an interesting team, because most of the time when a team gets promoted, they come up through scoring 100 goals. Something like that. They score loads of goals, they accrue 90 points or whatever. Burnley, despite the points tally, they're coming up off defensive resoluteness.
Yeah.
So they're coming up and they can kind of continue the way that they've played football in the Championship, in the Premier League. So they're in quite a good position. They're in quite a good position because they haven't got to totally redefine themselves. They're not like Leeds who've played an expansive game and then come up and have to shut up shop.
That's a good shout, yeah.
So
yeah.
Burnley are in an interesting shout. Sunderland, I would love them to get it right. Have you seen their owner, Sunderland's owner?
What about him?
Mate, he's about 25.
Oh, right, yeah, super young.
Oh, yeah. So,
It's the geezer. Do you remember, Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
yeah, because he kind of came in at the end of that documentary, didn't he?
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's the actress in Seinfeld, and Veep. Is part of that family. Like they're really, really wealthy. I think they're like French billionaires. And he's one of that crew.
Rory, some breaking news.
Tell me.
Antonio Conte is parting ways with Napoli.
Yeah, he's just so unpredictable. I'd love Antonio Conte back. Of course I would. He's just so unpredictable. Like he's flammable, but he's brilliant.
Can someone explain that to me?
Quite clever by him. If he knows
happened
he's
with
not
the
going to get
previous
much
manager?
better at Napoli,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'll leave on my stocks high.
I couldn't believe that Napoli won their league, and it was only the 4th time that they've ever won the league.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder they love
They were
Maradona.
at Tottenham of Italy before Maradona came there. They
Yeah.
were at Tottenham of Italy.
Yeah, and they've won their 4th, and now the main man has gone. Where will he go? He can basically have his choice of clubs, though, can't he?
Yeah, but
Do you think he'll go somewhere massive? Do you, like, who's going to be the Real Madrid manager? Like, is it Alonso?
Alonso's done.
Is it
today, I think?
right?
I think
It's
done
Alonso.
today.
Is there
Premier
any
League
other? There any other big jobs?
Can't see a Premier.
Arsenal.
Be great. It would be a great appointment for them.
Would Arsenal win the Premier League next season with Conte
Yes.
over Liverpool?
Yes.
Despite what we said about Liverpool, if August the 1st,
It would be- it would-
Conte's manager of Arsenal.
Put it this way. I don't think Arsenal will win the league next year as things stand with Arteta.
No,
I
don't
think that
so.
I wouldn't be saying that sentence if they brought Conte in. I'd still probably say Liverpool are favourite.
You still say Liverpool over Conte's Arsenal.
Yeah. But
It'd be a lot closer.
it would be a lot closer. And I don't think you can ever think of an example of a manager that has won a team the league and it so clearly be because of the manager.
Yeah.
Then he won it. He
if
won
Arsenal
Chelsea
a big
the
club,
league.
they sack Arteta bringing Conte. If they're a big club.
Where will he go? Do you think he knows what he's doing? Do you think he knows something?
I don't.
Or do you think he's just had enough and he's gone?
What jobs are available or coming available?
Italy World Cup? Is that a vibe?
He's been this.
Yeah, he's already done it. Yeah.
2016.
Not a
wasn't it?
World Cup though, was it?
2016 he did. France. Not World
Euro.
Cup.
Yeah.
And he was good. They were unlucky. They were really defensive.
That's
weren't
amazing. You win a league and just fuck off. That's brilliant.
they? What's
Am I
Brilliant.
seeing things right?
what big job?
Mazraoui went off injured. Delo came on, and now Delo's gone off injured.
Yeah,
Fucking hell, lads.
it's been a long season.
Let's just quick game without saving and restart, man.
It's been a long old season for Manchester United. I don't think we'll ever see you in the top 4 or 5 while we do the club. Yeah, we're in our 3rd season.
We'll win the league next year, don't worry. You only have to focus on the league, 38 games, 38 cup finals. Fucking
1 game a week, brilliant. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's the only way I get through life.
What if you lose the first game of next season?
Oh, bro.
Just starts all over again.
I'm just still busy thinking about how bad this season's been, and now you want me to think about how bad next season's going to be. Stop it, man.
Cunha's a small... I mean, Cunha looked better the week before you lost to Spurs.
Have
But
you
Cunha's still something.
I mean, it'd be a fantastic signing, but if you've seen what United can do to players,
No, I know. It's not 100% guaranteed to work, but
I don't think anyone is, in it.
no,
I
100%.
think we just need to focus on good young players, man. You know, there's no quick way back, and I think just focusing on good young players, building around the likes of Lenny Yoro and Kobe Mainoo, and
Is Liam Delap an option for you down the middle? Is that exciting to you?
hey, he doesn't want. He wants Champions League football, don't he?
I don't know if he. Does he warrant Champions? Is he that good to be saying I want to go straight into
No,
the
but
Champions League? Like, I know Man United are a massive, of course, biggest club in the world, arguably. But still, 1 game a week, that would be actually a better jump than a Champions League club, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah, but I mean,
You wouldn't start
if
for
he's
Champions League
got
club.
options from Chelsea, let's say, who are going to offer you as much money as Man United, if not more, and they can offer you European football next season, then
Yeah.
that's what you do. And it depends who
know.
else is in for him, I guess. If he went to like someone, let's say Forest made Champions League and he went to Forest over Man United, then you can go, it's a bit weird.
Yeah. But Chelsea. But you don't know with Chelsea where they're going to be. Like, I don't know. Liam
But
Delap's an
apparently, who
interesting
was
one.
Was it Palace? Was it Everton who want to kind of make him their main man?
Was it Everton?
They've said like you'll be our main.
I saw a few links to Everton.
Man,
Yeah,
that'd be a
but
good move for him.
That'd be a
New
good move.
stadium.
Yeah. New stadium. David Moyes, 3 years. Lukaku flourished there.
Put a
So many
release
strikers
clause in
flourished.
there.
Yeah, that'd be a good transfer for him, I think. I just think a big club in the Champions League is too early for him as well. He's a good footballer. He's not a world class, is he, Liam Delap?
Not yet.
He's a good, solid Premier League striker. He needs a bit of development, I'd argue, anyway. What about Kobe Mainoo?
I've read a lot of reports on him. I think he'll be someone that the manager keeps him. I don't think he's started much recently, which has been frustrating for some Man United fans. But I do think he's got a future at the club, and I think the manager reportedly likes him as well and wants to get him used to. That's why I'm starting to think there could be legs in this Bruno thing, you know.
What, getting some money in?
And then you just make Mainoo the guy, innit?
I'd be concerned about Bruno. I know he's been good in parts this season, but his legs look shot in the final. Not just his quality on the ball, which he misplacing passes and trying too many crosses into the box. His legs looked a little bit shot.
Also,
He looks a little bit.
You know, if you're top of the league or something, and you go, yeah, you don't want to let someone. Mate, we're 16th, 17th. You may as well just fucking. Oh, I thought I was going to sneak over to the back post.
I'd cash in on Bruno 100%. Bit of liquidity.
It can't be true though, Booth. It just, you know, that £100 million bid, 120 million. It just can't be true because he's just not a £100 million player anymore.
He is.
He's not.
He's not. He's 31.
At his age,
he's
probably
31,
not. But
mate.
I mean, in terms of what he offers, and also he's under a big contract that you're not.
Do you think he's worth 100 million quid?
He's 31
honestly?
years old. Like, he's just not. I'm not saying he's not a quality footballer. I'm just saying he's not worth. There's so much more.
He's
bought
not
into,
worth 100 million quid, is he?
No.
Come on.
No,
Well,
not
also,
at
hold
31
on.
years old.
Palmer's
No,
worth 150
basically,
million.
nobody's worth 100 million at 31.
He's a player though as well that plays every single game. You
Yeah,
haven't
when he
got
does,
any
he's-
doubts over injuries.
Yeah, but-
you haven't got
but
any
mate,
doubts
he
played
over
against
things
Spurs,
like
he
that.
was shit.
He's not the best 31-year-old in the world, and the best 31-year-old in the world is probably not worth.
Who's the best 31-year-old in the world?
Don't know who else is 31.
I don't know who else 31 could be.
Who else is 31? Yes, 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 yes! Oh!
Chelsea have scored Levi Colwill.
Oh my God.
That's it for you,
That
isn't
should be it.
That's it.
And
for
Man
you.
United have scored as well. Oh,
Hoyland. It's been
Offside.
chalked off.
That's it.
He's offside.
It's been chalked off.
Of course he's offside.
I bet he's 10 yards offside.
Mate, you're offside because you don't know how to make runs.
There we go, mate. That could be the biggest goal that Chelsea have scored in what? 22 years.
Jesper Kroenke.
22 years.
What did you call him earlier?
Yeah. What did you
That's
call
his
him?
fucking name.
Casper.
Jesper Kroenke.
What did you call
friendly
him?
goal.
Jesper Kroenke.
Casper.
Jasper. Where's he from? Norway?
Dane.
Danish.
Danish? Yeah. That's how you say it in Denmark.
Mate, from a set piece as well. You'd think Forest wouldn't want to get caught unstuck on a set piece.
I like Aina doing, just playing everyone on. I mean,
The way Forest have acted in the last few weeks, they're not a Champions League club. With all due respect, like they're not a Champions League club, are they? With this current crop of players.
no, I don't
Like-
think there was ever any pretense that they were.
No, I
It
know,
would've
I know,
been-
but it would have been
It would have been massive for
It
them.
would have
to
been
be
a
there.
punch up we've never seen before,
I
really.
think them being in Europa League could be big for them.
Yeah, they deserve to be a Europa League side. I'm not saying that, and they're a big club, but this side,
as
this
things
side aren't
stand,
built
they're going to
for
be
it.
in a conference.
They get battered every week in the Champions League. Let's be real.
I mean, I think they're in the conference as things stand.
That's still decent. That's a nice day trip.
Oh, yes, here we go.
Chelsea.
Come
have
on,
done it.
put an
I
end
can't
to this.
believe Chelsea
As
have
it
done it.
stands, Chelsea are 4.
Where are you going?
It's a good ball.
What's the keeper doing?
It's a good ball from, is that Madueke?
So who's fifth? Villa.
Newcastle.
Newcastle are fifth.
A Villa goal could put
Finishing above Newcastle.
out of the top 4.
No, you're not above Newcastle yet.
They
at the
are above
moment.
Newcastle. I mean, literally are.
We're watching a live table now. They're below Newcastle.
Yeah, that hasn't got the Chelsea.
That's
goal
got
on it.
Chelsea 0-0 though, hasn't it?
Oh,
Now
right, I
it's
can see.
refreshed.
Southampton have just
Oh, yeah, you
scored
are,
against Arsenal.
Southampton have won.
Rory
Oh.
Stewart. I mean, Ross Stewart.
After everything, City are only a couple of points behind Arsenal. How embarrassing is that? 1 win behind Arsenal. How embarrassing is that? More wins than Arsenal this season. How embarrassing is that,
Mate,
boy?
if we get into the Champions League, that is going to be so good.
As it stands, don't
Champions League nights on the club with
don't
Chelsea,
Chelsea
baby.
have more?
I'm not doing Chelsea Champions League.
Chelsea Champions League on the club, baby.
No, we're going to get you and Carefree Lewis FC involved.
Mate, you can't work with him. He dropped you from a football team. He was your manager and he didn't let you
Oh,
play.
man, it's an away end, man. You can't be looking at people's tickets, bruh.
Yeah. He didn't let you play in a football team. How can you play?
Who? Lewis? No, Carefree Lewis. Fantastic footballer, man.
I thought he dropped. I don't. No, you got dropped
Two
for
left
him.
feet. I've never seen it before. 2 left feet from Carefree Lewis.
Levi Cole having a good game. Good time of it lately as well.
Wow, big goal.
Big when we needed him to be big.
You've always said you love him, innit?
No.
I know. I said it.
No.
Don't get upset. I mean, come on. They were in the Championship a few years ago. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's still.
I think that.
Come on.
The-
It's over,
mate,
lads. Just
mate,
relax.
But there'll
there
be
was a-
people there that can
in
remember them
February-
winning it.
Fuck them. I don't care.
But
Who cares?
But in February, they were like competing for the league title.
Yeah.
That was in February. That wasn't long ago.
Yeah.
And now they're not even going to make the Europa League. Like, it is.
It's a decent story. They got European football. It's a decent story.
Mate, if
Great.
Man United can score, it's in the bag. If Man United can just score, it's in the bag.
That's what I was saying on Wednesday.
Oh.
You know who I'm sick of as well? This
Thogden.
prick. Luke Shaw, the fuck.
What happened on Wednesday? What do you mean
I hate
Wednesday?
him.
What happened on Wednesday?
I don't know.
Oh, you lost to Spurs in the Europa League final.
Word. Hate's too strong. I don't. Let me take that back. He's a fucking weapon.
Who?
Luke Shaw. Just
Yeah,
do one.
I don't.
Yeah, but I think he was speaking
I can't
facts.
bear Luke Shaw.
He was speaking
I've
facts.
gone
What's
into
he
this.
done?
Huh?
What's he said?
He did an interview saying the standards aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the
facts.
standard. He's the.
fucking
They're not
But he's come back
standards.
from injuries. He's been injured all season.
Yeah.
Come on.
Why was that?
We can't criticise. Okay,
Fucking
so
too busy
Roger's
trying to twerk
Roger's
for
a bad
Gareth
footballer because he got
Southgate,
injured.
Dickhead.
No.
How about this? Let Gareth Southgate get a job, and you can go and join him.
He should never have gone to England. That was Southgate's fault. He should never have gone. We had no left back. It should have been Mitchell from Palace.
Mate, that I was. Oh,
that's
that
not,
whole
that's not
second
Shaw's
half,
fault, is it?
just everyone I looked at, I just started to think, Nana, you silly cunt, you piss off as well. Hoyland, you do that. That was me. The second half,
Yeah.
just flying.
Just had them all. Yeah. Just had enough of every single one of
But
them.
you just lost to Spurs in the Europa League final. Someone has to come out and say something. Sure.
No, but it can't be somebody who's
Can't
part
be.
of the reason that the standards are so. Like, the standards are in
is he the
the
reason?
gutter because of him.
Because of him, really?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Bit
Now we
harsh,
can get
isn't
rid of him. He'll get injured again.
Bit harsh, isn't it? I mean,
No,
No, he's
he wasn't bad in the final, was he? He wasn't that bad.
he
in the
was
final.
horrendous.
He is.
Mate, you know how many times, there'd be something going on in front of him and he'd point at Paddy Dorgu. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you're the fucking experience here.
Yeah.
You
Fine,
take
fine.
control of that situation. Stop pointing at the kid, man. That's next.
Yeah, it wasn't Dorgu's fault that he lost to Spurs in the Europa League final.
Sick of it, man. Just all of them.
Does
But, like, I'm so-
Casemiro
you know, like,
stay?
I'm so glad I never got accreditation for that game. You know, if I was in a mix zone,
Yeah.
I would have stood there and boo. Fuck off, you just floored
There's boo. Does
all the
does
journalists, man, just
Casemiro
watching
leave?
him. I think the club will be hoping so, considering the wages he's on. But it's who's going to give you.
He could have a lovely. He could have a lovely season at Fluminense.
But it's we'd be paying his wages if he ends up at Fluminense.
Fluminense, yeah.
I'd have a season at Fluminense.
I'd love a season at Fluminense.
I saw a great video about Botafogo in the Brazilian league. They've never won the league title before, and I think it's John Textor who owns Palace as well. He's taken Palace, who have never won a trophy in their history, to winning the FA Cup with some good, astute signings. Obviously, Glasner comes in, and he's taken Botafogo in the Brazilian league to winning their first
Is that
Brazilian
right?
league.
Sick.
Yeah.
Where are Botafogo? Are they in Rio?
Oh no, I don't want to get it wrong. So I don't know, but they're a massive football club that have kind of haven't won the league title in either many years or ever. But it's John Textor's done it with two different clubs that
Yeah,
have
that's
basically
huge.
not won anything. There's a photo of him in Brazil lifting the trophy in Brazil. But they're a massive football club, aren't they? Ronaldinho was there at the end of his
Yeah,
career.
they're from Rio, Botafogo. Another team in Rio.
Might have been the Champions League in Brazil, actually.
What, they won that?
I think they won
No,
that.
the one that
Libertadores.
2024, I think they won Serie A and then they won the Copa Libertadores.
That's what I'm talking about. They
Wow.
never won that before. But it was all down to
basically the
Textor.
Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Man United. Come on.
Oh, Man United.
Come on, Rasmus.
What's Hoyland on this season then? Is it two or
Three.
three goals?
3 league goals, yeah. He'll have probably about 8 combined.
I think he's the worst striker in the history of Premier League football.
Yeah, him and Lyndon Dykes.
Ali Dyer.
They're interchangeable.
I'd rather have Ali Dyer. up front.
Lyndon
Look at that.
Dykes or Rasmus
Look at that
Hoyland.
first touch there.
I'd rather have Dean Windass up
Unbelievable.
front.
Yeah, Dean Windass
I
was
don't
a
know
better
if Dean
footballer.
Windass
I'd rather-
now.
yeah,
up
Dean
front.
Dean Windass was...
Fucking hell.
Dean Windass, undoubtedly a better centre forward.
Yeah.
Do you know what I figured out? You know what we were saying in the car on the way back? We all went. We could have all done what Rasmus Hoyland done today. Because he didn't do any
Anything.
fucking thing.
Yeah, he didn't do
He just
anything. I
ran
could
around.
have
Like,
done that.
We
Yeah.
all could have done that.
Yeah.
Like, give us a few weeks training. I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, why are we paying this guy to do what I could do? Just run about a little bit.
No,
You-
Oh, what was that?
is that offside?
Was that a shot?
I think it was offside, though.
Chris Wood's showing his true colours, man. He's had a good, decent season. We were getting gassed up about him, man. I'll put him in my team of the season.
So
I'm
Villa's
changing
got a
that
corner.
video now.
Villa's score doesn't matter to us, does it? We win, we make it.
Miles off.
Villa score. It's bad news for Newcastle if Villa score?
What's that?
Yeah, Newcastle's the ones it impacts the most.
Oh my God.
That's his level, innit, Chris Wood?
This
Two
is squeaky
Rose
bum time.
Zedders. That's his level, innit? Fucking getting gas up at Chris Wood all season. Pretending I like Chris Wood. Fuck that shit. He's rubbish, man. I've had to pretend all season I like Chris
scored
Wood.
a lot of goals early, didn't he?
Yeah.
Normal services resumed.
Beat Southampton, half of them. Nah, don't give me a break.
Oh my God, Rasmus Højlund's in.
Højlund's
Come on,
in.
mate.
Højlund,
Come on,
baby.
mate.
Højlund, baby.
Højlund, baby.
Slowing the game down. Great effort from Højlund on target.
He did more than I thought he would do there.
He got on
way
target,
more.
Ad.
He did way more than I thought he would
Look at
do.
this. Højlund. So he bursts away from him. Good. That's good pace.
How about you run?
Why don't you run forward that
I know,
way?
what are you doing, man?
He slows the game down.
He's
He thinks
not
he's,
fast.
Matty Cash
he thinks
probably
he's Lionel
fouls you
Messi.
as well.
Yeah.
He thinks he's Messi. Look at this.
Oh, it's so
He's
poor.
got no right foot, is he?
I've just had enough. Like.
Is he left-footed or right-footed?
I've never really seen him shoot.
He's got,
Morales
runs
never been
about.
so low, man.
he just runs about. I think I saw a video. Some guy ranked 200 strikers currently
Stop
playing.
bringing up
better than
things about Højlund on the screen, man. No one wants to see
200
it, man.
strikers.
Fucking
Was
hell.
that on the TikTok?
Let's get rid of him.
Instagram?
Yeah,
What,
200
strikers.
And one of them was Yaya Sanogo from Para League. Baller League. Sorry.
Yaya Sanogo.
Shout out to Baller Leagues. Huh?
Do you remember when Arsenal fans were actually telling us that Yaya
Yeah,
Sanogo?
Yaya Sanogo from the Baller League. The guy said I think
Yaya
he's better.
Sanogo plays in the Baller League.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Does he?
I thought you were
Yaya
confused. Like,
Sanogo played for Arsenal.
Yeah, but this guy in the video said that Yaya Sanogo from Baller League right now is better than
Is it the
Højlund.
same Yaya Sanogo?
Yeah, same. Yeah, loads of ex-pros are playing. Kieran Clark's playing. There's a few others. Yeah, Sanogo's playing in the Baller
Is
League.
that right?
100%.
Is that right?
they can't be that stuck up for the
Yaya
400 quid a game.
Sanogo
So it must
plays
be
in the
because they
Baller
like
League.
it, right?
What's that?
Like they can't be that stuck up for the 400 quid a game. So it must be because they like it, right?
Yeah, it's good exposure, isn't it? They're all.
You reckon they get? You reckon like who's the main?
because Troy Deeney.
Connor was it Henry Lansbury?
Yeah, Henry Lansbury.
Henry
Troy Deeney.
Lansbury, he played for Arsenal.
Do you think?
Look, Maya Jama's a better striker than
Is
Højlund,
Henry
man.
Lansbury in the Baller League?
Yeah, Henry Lansbury. Yeah.
Stop it.
I'd rather have Maya Jama up front than fucking Rasmus Højlund.
So would I. At least so.
Is that right? Is that right? Henry
Bristol's
Lansbury and
finest,
Yaya Sanogo. Unbelievable.
Rovers fan. That's the issue.
It's
That's
got
the issue
nothing
there.
left, man.
Oh, Bakary Sacco as well. He scored a fantastic goal last week.
Bakary Sacco?
Yeah.
Never.
That's like evil Bart, innit? Like, but Bukayo Saka, Bakary Saka
Marvin Sordell.
bought something.
Marvin
like that.
Sordell played for England at the Olympics.
Yeah, with Bellamy and Beckham couldn't get a game. Remember that?
Marvin Sordell is
Stuart
that right?
Pearce rejected David Beckham for the Olympics.
Jolien Lescott plays.
Lescott, yeah. Troy Deeney.
Stuart Pearce also rejected a barber for
I
my.
can't believe it. Maybe I'll watch it. I'd love to watch Yaya Sanogo play football again.
You need to watch it. It's on every Monday night.
Why not?
Well, watch it then.
I will. Henry
do it then.
Lansbury and Yaya
How long-
Sanogo.
You got 6 hours
Take
every
me back
Monday
to
to watch it.
Lansbury.
Yeah, you got 6 hours free every Monday.
Is it on a Monday night?
Yeah, for 6 hours.
I can't commit
It is
6
mad how
hours.
like Henry Lansbury's just
I can't do 6 hours.
so
for
much
anything.
better.
He's-
than everyone
Is he
else.
wicked?
Yeah,
on
he's a
that?
good footballer.
Got some absolute bangers.
Yeah.
Has he?
There's a lad that used to play for your lot,
Do you watch
Josh
him?
something. Josh.
Widdicombe.
Harrop.
Yeah, Josh Harrop.
He scored for Mourinho against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's what he always
Win.
brings up on his videos and stuff. Yeah.
His debut as well.
Madness, isn't it? Absolute
Is that
madness.
right? Wow. Would you go? Baller League?
Yeah, I'd
Is it
have,
the
a kick,
copper box,
I'd have a
innit?
kick about, yeah. No question.
What, to
We're
play?
not going to invite you to play.
No,
Why?
I don't think you can play if Henry Lansbury's playing.
Although that would be more.
I play at a high level at,
A lot of
at
people
Vauxhall
tune in.
Power League.
No,
do.
mate.
You don't.
Henry
You see me
Lansbury.
at Vauxhall Power League?
Henry Lansbury played for Arsenal. Yaya Sanogo played for Arsenal.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah,
I'm not saying
that's
I'm-
the end of
I'm-
my
what-
point.
I'm-
yeah, that's it.
yeah.
That's
Am
the
I
point.
when I say I'm marking Henry Lansbury, I never said that. Did I?
Well, what happens if you ended up?
I'm
happy
playing a
to?
free role. I'm not marking anyone. I'm playing a free role.
Mate, when I said
Best
would
hope
you
Paul
go?
Dickov don't get a job there.
Mate, I met Paul Dickov the other day. He was so nice.
Or fucking.
He's a nice
your
guy.
boy
He's the
Louis.
nicest guy in the world.
Good defending there.
Villa gonna
No, he
score,
didn't need
though.
to touch that ball.
Villa are going to score.
Villa don't deserve it. They bottled it as well. If you can't beat United to get into the Champions League, then what? They bottled the last few weeks. Villa. Let's be real.
Mate, Champions League football, baby. Champions League
Yeah, but
football.
I don't know if you even make out
Mate,
the
check
league
this
phase.
out. Booth. Because of Southampton's goal, you are now 1 point behind Arsenal.
Yeah, with more wins on the table. How embarrassing is that?
1 point behind. So if Arsenal lose,
They'll be 11 on point.
City didn't win for
Oh!
2 months. City didn't win for 2 months. I was pulling my hair out every week on this channel. Got more wins than Arsenal this
Don't
season.
shoot, man. You don't shoot, man.
No, he's getting gassed up, ain't he? He thought he'd be playing the Champions League. Now he's playing in the Europa Conference League.
Mate, I can't believe he's going to end up in the conference. I think that we disagree on this. I think it's really bad for them to end up in the conference. They had Champions League football locked in, and they're not even in the Europa.
Financially,
if you can't beat Leicester City, you don't deserve to be in the Champions League. Simple as that.
That's a good point. Vardy must have loved.
Marianakis is going to go nuts.
Have a little.
Yeah, they're rivals. Yeah,
Big
they're rivals.
rivals.
Leicester are way bigger. I'd argue.
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm on the one.
mate. Marianakis is going to go nuts after this if they end up in the Europa Conference.
Imagine him shouting at you, like right next to your face, shouting.
Big
at you.
boy.
He's a big
He's
lad.
been proven right.
Big boy. Mate, he'll sack Espirito Santo or something
Do you
nuts.
think?
He'll do something nuts, yeah. He'll go crazy.
With his iPod. He has an iPod, doesn't he, with
Another
wired
injury
headphones.
for United, Aiden Heaven.
He has an iPhone. Everyone has an iPhone.
No, but with wired headphones, it's unique. He's got an iPhone 7.
Evans.
iPhone
You
7.
should give Johnny
He's a
Evans
billionaire.
card
Do you know
of
what I
honour.
mean?
Nothing wrong with that. I had one until very recently. Well, I had an 8, actually. Oh, it's a good ball. Oh, he's
Reece James has
tricky.
been
Loves it.
solid, hasn't he?
Just from a human being perspective, I'm so happy Reece James wasn't injured. Remember that day?
Yeah.
Because we thought he had
Now
gone
Cole
off.
Palmer's
Remember,
there.
and he was on and he scored or something.
He came,
Yeah.
it was just half time on it, and then he came back on.
Yeah, and then
He
actually
looked-
created the winner.
He looked fucked.
And he actually created the winner that day.
It
That
was
was
a
against
great
Man
assist.
United, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he looked fucked. I'm not doing Chelsea in the Champions League.
Well, you are.
I don't think you pick up a win.
We are.
Mate, I don't think you
if
are.
you
That's
come
more reason
fifth,
to do it.
if you come fifth, you'll be in the. You have to qualify anyway, won't you? Isn't there a knockout
Villa run
game?
deep. So Chelsea run deep in the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll
Next
go further.
season.
And sack off.
Mate, don't
With-
you
with
start giving it
Madueke?
a big one about
What with
about
Madueke
Champions
and
League
Trevor Chalobah?
Yeah.
Here we go. Villa's goals coming.
Who knows, by the way? Who knows?
Robert Sanchez in between the sticks.
Sticks.
Jesus.
So what do Forest need? If Forest get a draw, do they avoid the conference? No. If they get a draw.
I think you'll get another.
One more point for Forest.
You'll get another.
No, they need to. No, they're in the conference.
One more point leaves everything as it is.
Yeah, they need to win.
Oh, dirty foul by Madueke. Send him off. Dominguez is on the floor asking for a red card.
I'm going to change my team this season. I'll put so many Forest players in. They're 7th. Seriously. I
How
put all
many-
these guys
how many
in
did you
Milik.
Nah,
We've
but
been banging on about Milinkovic
This is a
all
team that was
season.
going to get
Nah,
relegated
fuck that.
about fucking 12 months
fuck
ago.
that.
Oh, it's not a red. I thought it was worse.
No,
than
it's
that, but it is bad,
accidental.
though.
It's accidental, but it was a boot.
I thought he'd gone in
I
that
think
way.
he's done him. Look, the ref's had a look and has gone, oh my God.
Who's done who?
Madueke has booted his ankle so badly that it might have. It didn't look good.
Newcastle are losing against Everton,
What's happening here?
which means Newcastle are
Newcastle.
6th. Villa are back into the Champions League spots.
Oh
Who
my
would you
God.
rather have, Villa or Newcastle in the Champions League?
Villa,
With you?
Villa.
Yeah, not Newcastle. It's funny.
Yeah.
I got too much stick from Newcastle.
Yeah. But that means if Forest can beat you in the last couple of minutes,
Is this
Yeah, but
bad?
they can't.
they got better goal.
Mate, they're losing.
No, I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying that.
They're not
But
going
if
to
they can
beat
score
us.
a couple.
They can't even score against us.
But they-
We're too good. We're
Well,
too
it's still
solid,
30.
mate. We're so solid.
Still 35 minutes.
Mega man and that.
Johnny Evans and Christian Eriksen coming on. Combined age of 127 years. Who's this guy?
Angel Gomez.
How's he still? He looks like a charity match. How's he still fucking? How's he still kicking about for these
I know
lot?
what you did. You went heaven and angel, innit? It was the heaven and angel. You're a clown, man.
What are you doing? Can you sit down? What's happening?
Johnny Evans got him, man.
Guard of honour.
Heaven and angel. Got it completely muddled up. I got muddled up my heavens and my angels.
Swinging a scarf about
That
your
was like what I
seventh.
called-
Your seventh.
That Glazer, Joe. Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Joel Glazer, yeah?
Fuck off.
What do you mean shout out Joel Glazer? What are you talking
He might be
about?
watching now. Who knows?
I hope if he's watching,
He's unlikely to
you're
be
a
watching.
massive wanker.
He really is unlikely.
Hoyland, look at Hoyland again, man.
Stupid ponytail, baldy face.
Hoyland is just. He's
Shake
always,
your head, man. What's that
he's always getting
ponytail?
smashed about, isn't he, Hoyland?
Yeah, he's in
He's
the
like a
wars.
rag doll.
He is in the wars, yeah.
No, but he does
He
that.
don't do
so he
nothing.
looks
He's in the
busy.
wars, yeah.
He's like a crash dummy.
So he looks busy.
One of those crash dummies you
I
put in
think
a
his
car.
ankle's gone.
His Achilles, he got kicked on, innit? Right at the
Oh.
back.
So Villa are currently in the Champions League spots. How have Newcastle blown it? Do you know why? I've got the answer of why Newcastle have blown
Was
it.
he dressed as Truman?
Jordan Pickford. a Sunderland fan,
Yeah.
buoyant from yesterday, ready to ruin
that's a good
Newcastle
shout.
United's dreams.
That's a good shout.
That's what it is. It's Jordan Pickford.
That is what
Everton's record there is shit as well.
That is. If we were
It's
watching that game
amazing.
now, the camera would keep cutting to Jordan.
And Pickford would be having a game of his life, loving it.
Which game? You know what? It's
Yeah,
funny if
Newcastle could be
I
a
don't
good
want
game
Newcastle
now.
to make it, 'cause they give you
Newcastle
three.
could be a good game to watch now. So you put Newcastle on the other screen.
Yeah, I'm open. Yeah, if we can.
Well, this game impacts that as much as that.
Yeah.
And Fulham are losing 1-0. Yeah. Let's have a look. Where's City?
I love how
That's fantastic.
you want to know the City score, so you go, Fulham are losing, yeah?
I want to make sure Fulham are losing.
Yeah. How's City getting on?
Shout out
Fulham are losing?
Richard Osman, yeah.
Richard Osman.
He's a big Fulham fan.
Liverpool are down to 10
Lily
men.
Allen, apparently.
Is she a Fulham fan?
She was crying in the stadium, you know, when they got beat by Atletico Madrid.
Gravenberch is sent off for thingy. Trent came on at half time. Interesting.
To booze?
I am.
Does it say anything?
Although they all would have run out together, innit? So
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, wow. What a life, eh? What a life. You're a Forest fan in the Europa Conference League next
Look at
season.
him dressed as Where's Wally?
That was great when I was a kid, reading those books, trying to find him.
when
You
I
know?
was a kid.
I can never
Still
find
the
him.
same now, by the way.
I don't try and find Where's Wally now. I'm nearly in my 30s.
What's the Spanish one called?
Where's Wallaldo?
What is it?
He nearly had it in all sorts of wrong ways. Where's Waldo?
I nearly got it right as well.
What did you try
Where's
and say?
Rivaldo?
Waldo.
It was tough. He was always on the top left, when he really. They never put him in the middle. It's too obvious. Think about it. Come on, Forest.
Come on,
Do it for
tree.
Nigel Clough
Nigel.
and Brian.
Nigel Clay.
Shout out
He's a
Brian.
good player. He went to Liverpool, didn't he?
Good striker, wasn't he?
If United score now, it means Newcastle get Champions League. I kind of don't want United to score.
Yeah.
But this is
Are you
shocking.
gonna do that lot of
This
favour?
is shocking. So Amram's currently on
Mate, this
10
is our best
points.
performance all season, by the way.
So Amram's got 10 points in half a season. So he would have been relegated if he'd started the season.
Fernandes.
But then I kind of want Bruno.
You
to
just said he's
score.
worth 100 million quid, this
It's
guy.
his last game today.
Just said that was worth
I
100
didn't say
million
he's,
quid.
I said he's actually
No, Adam
not
said he's worth 100 million
yeah.
quid. 100 mil.
I mean, the Saudis are apparently ready to spend £100 million on him.
is he that big a name?
Is he ready for it? Do you think? I think they want him for the Club World Cup.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know what's happening with that Club World Cup.
I think they're taking it very
They're
seriously.
trying to get Ronaldo into a club, aren't they?
Yeah.
Didn't
He
they
announced
put
it on
his
the
team
speed
into-
stream.
Didn't they put his team into
No,
the
don't.
Club World Cup anyway?
No, because they
No.
lost the Asian Champions League, I think it was.
Because they somehow put Inter Miami into it, didn't they? And they didn't even win anything.
They made a cup for it, didn't they? They made like a MLS Cup that gets them into the Club World Cup. Really weird.
Have you seen Turkey Al Sheikh's going to buy Millwall?
Wow.
It's depressing.
From Bermondsey to the Bernabeu.
So is Millwall closer to winning the Premier League than Manchester United, do you think?
If they
Turkey-
get Turkey, yeah.
The way he operates,
He'll
it's
just
incredible what he's done to boxing.
Mm.
Incredible.
Yeah, he
Imagine
replied.
he just goes out and
It would
gets...
be weird seeing that fan base trying to grasp with the
No,
fact
they'll
that
be
even like
fine.
that Saudi owners. You think they'll be doing what Newcastle fans were doing? Tea towels on their head and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. They'd love it, wouldn't
They
they?
wouldn't push back against it, you don't think?
Bermondsea's an up-and-coming area as well. It's not the worst area in the world. You know what I mean? London
I
club.
think you
it's
could
a great
easily
asset.
argue that Millwall are London's most central London club. It's London Bridge. Do you know what I mean? It's London Bridge. Bermondsey, what? One stop from London Bridge. You can walk to the ground from London Bridge Station.
Yeah.
There aren't
City have
many
a penalty.
clubs. There aren't many clubs more central London.
Fulham.
Fulham would be much further out. Arsenal maybe. Arsenal Upper Street maybe.
Yeah.
But no, the most central London club is Millwall.
That's interesting.
London Bridge Station. Nobody else is as close to.
It's a long walk from London Bridge Station.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
only
you
one
need- you need
stop.
a line
But only one stop.
What,
London
down to
Bridge.
Bermondsey?
London Bridge, South Bermondsey.
Yeah.
One stop.
It's not bad.
Arsenal just had a goal disallowed. Wolves have just scored against Brentford, and City have a penalty, which is just about to be taken.
Oh, that was a
by
lovely
Erling
dummy.
Haaland.
Erling Haaland about to take a
Back on the
penalty.
score sheet, baby.
Oh, so he doesn't. So he's happy to take this one, but he bottled the one at Wembley.
And he's scored.
He scored. Oh,
That's a
imagine if he had the bottle to take it at Wembley.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Craven Cottage will take one, but not at Wembley.
It's Craven Cottage when the game means nothing.
It's no good, is it?
He'll take
no
one in
good.
front of the
He's not
neutral
taking
end.
any heat from that. He's got no heat in the media from that.
Has he bottled that?
If that was
Pep
Liverpool,
control
Man
the
United,
narrative a lot, though. It's what the great managers do.
I think it
They
helped.
control the narrative.
I say
they
this
control the
respectfully,
headlines.
It helped. If he was a Man United number 9, he'd be getting 10 times the coverage. Like also he's at Man
Yeah,
City.
but Man United are also 17th.
No, but I'm
also-
saying you're a bigger club. Like if do you know what I'm trying to say? In an FA Cup final,
But that's not
if
always
Wayne Rooney's
right,
turning
though,
down
is
a
it?
penalty, I think City you get a little bit less coverage anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Doesn't make it any better, by the way. Of course not.
No, if Wayne Rooney did the same thing, that's a title. That's the back page. Whereas the back page was
There are
about.
podcast episodes about it.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Villa have scored. The goalkeeper's
No,
just
it's
fucked
ruled
it.
out. It's ruled out.
By India just fell over and released the ball. That should be a Villa goal, by the way.
Emery's going livid.
He'd snooker
First,
loopy.
Harry Maguire with the hospital pass. Allowed
going-
Jacob Ramsey to have a chance.
What's the keeper doing?
He's dropped it.
That should be a goal.
That's a goal. That's
a
a goal.
goal.
That's a goal. He's dropped
He's
the
let
ball.
go of the ball.
He's never in control of the
Never
ball.
ever got control of the ball.
There, if he kicks it, then that's a.
No, he's never got it.
It's loose. It's loose.
It's loose.
It's a loose ball.
He's never ever not got
He
control
has
of the ball.
both hands either side of
He's
the
not
ball.
got it.
Well, no, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Without touching the ball.
Yeah.
These refs are pricks, man.
Is
That
it definitely ruled out?
100%.
VAR, that's a goal.
He's touched it before he's controlled the
I agree,
ball.
that is a goal.
He has gone to VAR, to be
I
fair.
think they're going to have to rule it out, but I believe it should stand.
That should be a goal.
Why?
Because he's
Why
kind of
do I think
juggling
it
it.
should-
It's
Why
like
should they?
bouncing between
Why
his
should they
hands.
rule it
'Cause I
out?
think they will rule it out.
What, because
that's what they do.
Just to exaggerate a point to make a point, if his hands are up here and the ball's kind of doing the same thing, so he's not quite
Yeah.
got both hands on it, but someone heads it out of his hands.
They would say foul. Because
Is
they're
that
so
correct?
overprotected. No, it's not correct, but they would say foul. The goalkeepers are so overprotected.
This is a big goal as well because it affects Champions League spots.
He's going to the monitor, which
No, he's not.
No, he's not going to the monitor. It's ruled out.
I think you got that wrong. That's wrong for Villa.
I think that's wrong.
Perfect, easy decision as well. I think you can see it in live. I think,
We've seen one angle. I think that's wrong
yeah.
Terrible.
because he's not once.
That could cost Villa, you know.
That could cost Villa.
Sheffield United fans will be happy if it does.
Well, they won't when they got banged by Sunderland in the last minute.
Do you remember the?
Yeah.
Do you remember the
Chris
goal
Waters crying his eyes out.
at Villa Park that should have
Yeah.
first time goal line technologies ever.
They didn't switch it
Fair.
on. How dumb
They
are
did
these
switch
guys?
it
No,
on.
they did, didn't they? But it was because of
No, they
because
did
of the
turn it on.
angle and where they were, and was it
Think
not on?
they
They
did turn it on.
I
didn't
always
turn the
believe
electric on.
because of the players and where they were.
They
No,
forgot
it was
to put a
complete
fibre in the
human
lecky.
error. They just didn't turn it on.
Okay. That's bad. That's even worse. than I
Complete
thought.
human error. Mate, that's terrible for Villa, isn't it? Like,
I
That
think
is an
they should have
easy
stood.
decision
it's
as
an
well.
easy decision.
That's
Like,
shit. That's
You know,
so
once
shit.
the ref makes it though, they're not going to go back against him.
It's just never.
It's just not how. Why should it work that way?
It's just never ever
Why is it
worthy
that
of ruling
way?
it out.
Everything's a decision.
And look,
isn't
you
it?
can tell from the keeper that he doesn't believe it's a foul.
Also, why don't the keeper just collapse on it, like drop on it?
Not a very good keeper.
He's not a good keeper, is he? Got 15 minutes. Chelsea in the Champions League. Done very, very well in recent weeks, I think, Chelsea. To be in this situation, comfortable as well, 1-0 up. They've done very well, Chelsea. And Villa will be gutted if they don't make it.
As it stands, they're making it. Newcastle in the balance. What does a Forest Gold? Forest Gold doesn't do anything. We figured, didn't it?
Yeah, lots of people in the chat saying that Villa have been robbed. But
Yeah.
if they're still in the Champions League spots, then fair play.
No, but that guarantees. That means that you don't care about what's happening at St James's Park.
Yeah, of
You know.
course. Yeah, it's a little bit less pressure for Aston Villa, but strange decision. It's just it never looked like he was in control of it. Gusto's coming on for Chelsea.
United have scored.
Oh, United have scored.
Yes.
United have scored. Ahmad Diallo with a fantastic header.
He's
on
not
the back
celebrating.
post. You shouldn't celebrate.
Muted celebrations.
Yeah, he's got the right mentality.
Rasmus Højlund would have ran to the crowd doing all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he would have taken his top off and everything.
See, that's why that goal's massive. We've just done Newcastle a favour. Because their goal
So that
difference
knocks-
is better than Villa's.
Oh,
Heads
yeah.
are gone. Heads are gone.
Heads are gone, Villa.
They'll be gutted.
easily.
Oh my God.
They'll be livid.
This is where
They'll be snooker loopy.
We should get John Virgo on the show. I think.
I think.
Where's the white ball going?
it's onside.
Definitely onside.
It's a great header.
Good header,
Terrible
man.
defending, though. Who's his man on him there? So he's marked. He's completely marked, and it's not there. There's just no challenge.
That Maatsen.
Is it Maatsen?
Yeah, he's struggled to get game.
He's just not challenged him. Look.
Yeah, he's left.
He's just he's caught out positionally. It's a great ball as well. It's a killer ball.
Yeah, that ball was unbelievable, isn't it?
And they got 10 men.
Man, that goal was massive, man.
Europa League for Villa.
I mean, it's funny, but that goal should have stood, man. Should have stood. Literally a minute before. A minute before. Here it is again.
Yeah, he's never in control of
Never
that.
in
He's never like.
You don't even have to. You have to be touching it. He's not touching it with two hands.
He has to have hold of it for it to be ruled out fairly. He has to totally have hold of the ball, and at no point does he ever totally have hold of the ball.
So right now, as it stands, Aston Villa need a goal to get themselves back into the Champions League spot. Well, that's it. They just need a goal.
They look like
A
they run
goal
out of
for
steam.
Forest would bring them level on points with 5th place Newcastle, but their goal difference isn't good enough.
God, that's such a bad decision. What is the point of VAR if they get these things wrong? Like,
Embarrassing.
like, what is the point?
Did he even check the screen?
He didn't.
He didn't even go over. It's just like, what's the point? These guys don't even use the right
See, the thing is,
protocol when they've got the technology. Like, they don't know what they're doing, these refs. Anthony Taylor giving out yellow cards. I'd be gutted if I was a Forest fan. I don't think, they've not shown enough quality today, have they? Gibbs White hasn't been at it. The midfield hasn't controlled the game. Just playing into Chelsea's hands all day long.
this is all very ugly, but I am very, very happy. It's all gone mad. It's all gone mad in the Chelsea game. Look, bookings galore. It's all gone all over the place. Look, nobody's happy. Forest players going mad. Ola Reina booked. It's all gone wrong there. It's all gone wrong. Aston Villa robbed. Perfect.
Yeah, and you're slowing the game down as well. Any little decision.
Psyduck with the super chat says they've had enough time. They can't
Look,
get VAR right. Scrap.
Gibbs White there has done nothing wrong. How can that be given as a foul? That's not a foul either.
That's not a foul either, no.
It's ridiculous. What's going on today? Ola Reina's done nothing wrong to Cucurella there, has he?
No, it's just Cucurella's follow through from the.
Oh, what's
my
he doing,
God.
man? He holds his head.
Oh my
I
God.
can't stand Cucurella, man.
Rory,
I don't-
if a Chelsea footballer married into your family, is a really good guy, treats whoever from your family quite well. This is a super chat, by the way. But he has a Werner-esque career. Would you still slate him?
No, because nobody from my family would ever marry someone so average. They wouldn't do that. If anybody from my family were to marry a footballer, you're looking at top tier.
Isn't Werner, did he play in the World Cup for Germany?
Yeah, but he's rubbish.
We played in the Champions League
Loads
final
of
for you.
Yeah, but there's loads of
He's a Champions League winner.
But he's a rubbish
Heads are
footballer.
gone.
Werner's got more Champions Leagues than Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
But he's a rubbish. You have loads of examples of that kind of thing, though. He's a rubbish footballer.
He won you a Champions League.
He's probably in the top 11 for worst. You know, if you did a worst 11 of Champions League winners ever, he'd be in it. Yeah. In fact, a lot of that Chelsea team would be in
Maybe
it.
from 2012 as well, there's a couple in there. Maybe Bertrand at left back.
Bertrand left back.
I thought he was decent in that final, by the way, from what I remember. But
yeah. Worst
Rasmus
ever
Højlund
winners.
going off.
Vladimir
hopefully.
Schmitzer.
Last time we see him in a Man
Schmitzer,
United
yeah,
shirt.
fucking Steve Finnan.
As bad as that sounds.
Oh, hello.
Case.
Little bit of flair. Is this Gusto? Hello.
Cheeto will be coming on. Salah's scored for Liverpool. It's 1-1.
Of course he has.
No golden boot for him in terms of beating Haaland's record. Thank
He
God
won
for
the
that.
Golden Boot, though.
I mean, the record for the amount of goals
He missed
in
out
a
on
single
Reed's
season.
record as well when it was
20 assists.
Yeah.
quite.
He was close to getting 36 this season if he'd kept on going.
But the game's not over. He might get another couple. Is he too far away now?
He has to score 8
Needs
goals in the
two
next
more
5
assists
minutes.
and
Don't
two
doubt
more
him.
Goals.
Yeah, no,
doubt.
you have to score 9 goals.
Yeah, don't doubt him.
Haaland scored 36 and we slag him off.
He's just not very good, though.
Well, he has to be good if he scored 36 goals in the Premier League season.
He's just not very good.
So why is Alan Shearer never scored 36 goals in the Premier League season? Why not Henry?
Why is Erling Haaland hiding from a serious penalty?
Yeah, well, that's a different discussion. That's
It's not,
embarrassing.
because that's
Of course
part of
it's
the
different.
reason. It's part of my decision-making process for saying he's not very good.
Not scoring a penalty in an FA Cup final. Is
Cowardly.
completely different to
No,
scoring goals in
not
the Premier League.
taking it. It's
Completely-
fine to miss it, but to not have the
I
bravery
never said
to
that.
take it.
Yeah,
Missing it's better than not taking it.
yeah, of course. I want him to take it.
Coward.
Cucurella's good in this situation. And he's so annoying to play against.
Mate,
We
we're there.
We
We've
all
done
are
it.
guilty.
This is in the
but
bag.
we all
Done it,
flip
yeah.
flop on him so bad.
Who?
Cucurella.
Not me.
I think he's a solid left back. I've never flip flopped on him.
Player, man.
He's not worth, what, 65 million?
We've actually done this, haven't we? Forest have nothing to offer. Look,
No, they can't.
Villa's heads are gone.
Villa's heads are gone. Look, we're there. Champions League football, baby. Can't believe it. We've made it. Beat Real Betis now midweek. And
What is out of 10? 8 out of 10? 7? I think it's an 8, isn't it?
7.
Surely.
Champions League football alone maybe makes it an
I
8.
regret that we didn't cover it, but I ain't doing a
Champions
Champions League final.
No. Mate, it's the first time we've played a team in the competition that I've heard of. It's literally in the final.
Yeah, they're a top side Betis.
Mate, we should start planning. We should start planning our European tour.
This is going to be funny when Chelsea get knocked out. Come on. Where you go? What you doing? What's your thoughts?
Mate,
Who do you want in the group stages?
It's the league phases.
No, but you still get a select.
Okay, I'll tell you what we want. For the first games, the early games, the September games. Nice bit of sun. How Braga doing?
Little port.
You want Braga, your first Champions League game?
A bit of sun, mate. Bit of sun.
Come on, man. Look up a little.
I'll whack the shorts on. I can swan off to Braga if they've made it. Be great.
If they've made it.
Braga? I don't think they've made it, have they?
Don't know, mate. But if they have, I'd like to go there. I've never been to Braga.
I watch the Portuguese league week in, week out. They haven't made it, mate.
They haven't. You know that for a fact.
Of course not.
Let's find out.
How are they going to play it? The 3-5-2 formation.
Let's find out where Braga are in the Portuguese
Braga
league.
are fourth heading into the Europa League.
Yeah, see? I watch Portuguese league, I told you, every week. Outrageous.
Okay, so who's third in the Portuguese league? Sporting.
Porto, yeah.
Porto, I've been there too many times.
Yeah.
Benfica in it.
Well, I mean, they're going to Europa League as well.
I like
Sporting and Benfica are going to the
Benfica. There we go. Lisbon, lovely. Bit of Lisbon.
Nice city, Lisbon.
Can't go wrong with Lisbon. It's a great football city.
Yep.
We beat them on the way. I went there when we beat them on the way to winning the Champions League 2012. Solomon Kalou winner, mate.
In the groups?
Nah, quarterfinals, yeah.
Was it
last 16.
Last 16, yeah.
Last 16. It went, last 16.
You've played well today, relatively speaking.
We've done the job.
You've done the job, yeah.
Done the job.
Managed moments, kept the ball. You keep
we
the ball
kept
better
them to nothing. They haven't had a chance.
No.
Mate, we battered them.
They don't keep the ball well enough.
Battered them.
Well, gives White that chance, isn't it?
This is Champions League quality stuff.
It's not at all.
This is Champions League football, mate. This is it.
I think you come bottom of that table next season.
Mate, we could beat you again in the Champions League. You start crying again.
No, I wasn't crying.
You were crying.
Aguero was crying.
Aguero was crying.
I was in a dressing gown completely, my eyes were dry.
Why were you wearing a dressing gown?
It's called a brand deal, mate.
That you secured?
I'm open to any brand deals.
Spurs 1, Brighton 3.
Good.
Southampton 1, Arsenal 2.
That's a shame.
Bournemouth 2, Leicester 0.
Maatson has just really hit Diallo. I'm knackered. I'm knackered. I'm so knackered. I did last night. I am so knackered. And I've got to do tonight. I'm doing 2 nights in a row.
Oh, wow. You're on the
By
grind.
night shift, you mean with the little one?
Yeah. Because Victoria's I'm going to have a couple of nights off. Half term, innit? So I've got to do it now, back to back though. Oh boy. I start dreading the nights. Terrified of the night.
It's accidental that, but it is a sore one. Kind of caught his foot's just got stuck in his sock.
Oh, that's nasty on his Achilles. Oh.
You know what's mad with Villa now? You know, because their heads are so hot from that incorrect decision to disallow their goal. Even when the correct decision is given,
they go mad. Yeah. They've gone mad. Yeah.
There will be people that say they should have kept their heads cool and all, but the decision's so bad.
Nah,
so
you can't blame anyone for being irate.
No, you can't.
You can't.
And that's a penalty to United.
They're fighting for their lives to get into the Champions League.
Let Johnny Evans take it.
Have you been given a penalty?
Let Johnny Evans take it, man.
Have you got a penalty?
I think so.
They offered to give it to him. This is a
Johnny
joke
Evans
club,
take
innit? This is a joke club.
Nah. Let
It's
Johnny
a
Evans
joke
take
club, man. You're a joke club, man. You are. Come on. They offered to give it to Johnny Evans.
Yeah, let Johnny Evans take it.
Is he taking it?
What? Is he giving it the green light? What's happening here?
I'm on my knees. Johnny Evans.
Mate, Ericsson's not giving it to him.
Ericsson has to give it
What's
up.
happening here, man? This is
Give it to Johnny Evans.
This is so tin pot. This is so tin pot. That is tin pot, isn't it?
You should be singing for Johnny Evans quickly. Make your feelings heard.
Why is he so desperate to take it? What?
Johnny Evans.
Give it to Evans.
Goal
Give it to
scoring
Evans.
bonus. This is it for Villa. Curtains.
Evans. It's Johnny Evans of MUFC.
Villa haven't been good enough to win the game, except for that decision.
No, but the decision
Maybe
has
that's.
changed
I know it's
everything.
a game-changer moment, but they had a keeper bottled it.
The decision has changed everything.
You can't miss this now.
Oh, good penalty.
I was going to do a Mick McCarthy then.
That's it.
You can.
He
He
can.
has scored. Man United 2, Aston Villa 0.
So Villa have capitulated on the final day. Forest have capitulated on the final
Emi
day.
Martinez, man.
It's pouring with rain
Should be
just
having-
over Emery.
Should be having a word with himself, really. He's just cost him, innit? Go on, son. Enjoy
Why is it-
yourself.
Ball in Forest. Oh,
Mate, it's in the
Means
bag.
nothing.
Stop panicking.
let's just. Oh, handball, handball,
Get it out.
handball.
Well, he's just saying handball. Nothing's happened. The ball's not even in the air.
Oh, Forest have been shit. Forest don't deserve to be in the Champions League. Let's be real, lads.
Chris Wood, that chance early.
It's not a
you know,
free
that
for all,
cross.
is it? It's like people think it's a free for all to get into the
They've
Champions
got
League. It's not
a bit of
special
Rendell.
anymore.
It's a nice moment for Ericsson, I guess, he's leaving, innit? But
Oh, well, Chris Wood, man. He's had a mare, hasn't
He's
he?
had a stink. He's not a Champions League footballer. If Chris Wood's a Champions League footballer, then I'm an Oscar-winning actor.
Champions League footballer.
yeah.
Oh, so you compare me to Chris Wood? I'll take that. Yeah, fine. Forest and 7. That must sting, man. That must sting.
Mm.
You got decent goal difference as well.
Should have let Johnny take it, man.
Yeah. Are you disappointed with Forest, lads? Do you expect more?
On the
Penalty
ball,
ref-
they've been poor today. I thought they've not controlled enough of the ball. Being at home against Chelsea, it's different at Stamford Bridge, but they've not controlled the game, have they?
No.
Enough.
Here we go. Come on, Cole. Wide, wide, wide.
Who's that? Who's number
Lavia?
45?
Oh, mate, you've got to give that to Dewsbury Hall. Tyreek George. It's not Lavia.
What are you on about?
What do you mean, what am I on about?
Who just shot then?
What are you on about?
That's Lavia, isn't it?
Yeah, Lavia.
Yeah, you just said it's George.
I said Lavia, you idiot.
Oh my God.
It's because I asked him on the number.
Gaslight.
I said to him, who's number 45? Because I don't know numbers no more, man. They're all over the place.
Palmer's had a shit 5 months.
Sometimes
hasn't
they got number 72s in that.
He's-
Barber just looks at him.
Looks, yeah. Don't know what he's on about.
You what, mate?
he? Oh, holding it in the corner. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
So tilted.
Booted it against
Yeah.
Sonadoy.
Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe as well.
Oh! Villa are in! Oh!
Oh, Rosed.
Douglas Luke. Oh,
Ross Barkley.
Ross Barkley. Why is he number 6? See, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I looked
What
at
did
it
you
for
say? You said Douglas Luiz.
No, who's the defender there? Carlos Diego, whatever the fuck his name was. That's what I
He's
thought
not
it
even at
was.
the club anymore.
Carlos Diego.
He's not even there anymore.
Is he not?
It's Diego
Why is he number
Carlos.
6? Why is a central midfielder number
Carlos
6?
Diego. He doesn't even play for Villa. Got the name and the player and the club wrong.
Bro, I don't think you've noticed yet. United are so shit. I don't even watch football anymore.
Diego Carlos is number 3 from my recollection.
What? Where does he play then?
He plays in somewhere in Europe. Plays in Turkey, I think.
That's so bad, that.
That's such a bad decision for Morgan Rogers, man.
You know, if you have to ask Villa fans, though, all right, this decision, you get it. But also that decision when you would have got relegated, you also would have got that one.
Let's have a look at the league table. Let's see what's going on. So Newcastle have got so lucky because Newcastle have got beat, but they're going to make it.
Yeah.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, they're lucky.
They're lucky.
They're very lucky.
Oh,
Look at him.
Marianakis is fused.
He's sweating.
Big boy.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
Big boy. Like a seal. Not a seal. What are they called? Sea
A
lion.
big flapper.
Sea
On
lion.
the flappers, yeah.
You know
yeah.
the sea lions that just sit in the sun on the rocks?
Yeah, yeah. Run away from polar bears and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. David Attenborough and all that. Oh.
You'd be terrified of a polar bear.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
If you were
I could run further than you to get away from it. You'd be fucked.
I know I'd
If
be
a polar bear was there, he'd
Mate,
target you first,
mate,
the weakest link.
If you
He'd
were
target you first.
Mate, if you were walking down like I don't know, Bethnal Green Road and a polar bear was walking towards you, you would be fucked.
I've seen Stranger Things on Bethnal Green Road. But I've seen Stranger Things, honest to God, mate.
Have you ever seen a thing called "Why the hell is there a polar bear in Arkansas"?
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
I love how you get the memes so late.
Time wasting here. Just time waste. That's the wrong ball.
No, it's the right.
Lucky fuck.
Played that. So
No, he didn't. He's bounced off the Forest defender.
no.
Are
that
you
was-
watching
that
with two
was
eyes?
the plan.
That's why you're fucked against the polar bear, because you can't even focus on one thing at a time. You'd be on Twitter while the polar bear was eating half your legs. You'd be on checking his Twitter.
Mate,
You'd be checking Twitter.
I've got a block on Twitter.
Block 2, me.
I've got a block on there.
Block 2, me.
Who have you blocked? What do you mean
No,
block?
I'm only allowed an hour a day on it.
An hour? That's a long time.
Do you think?
7 hours a week.
Well, it means half an hour on
7 times
Instagram.
365. That's 2,400
Would you-
hours.
Wait.
Would you do
365 weeks in a year?
Huh?
You just went down 7 hours a week, 7 times.
No, I didn't say that.
365.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you
No,
did.
I didn't. I
Yeah,
said
that's exactly what
300 fucking hours a year, yeah? 300 hours a year you could be spending doing anything. Going to the gym, enjoying your life, getting a coffee, going to Gales,
I mean,
walking
all
down
of the
Bethnal
things
Green
you
High
said-
Street.
You said enjoying your life and then listed off some of the most boring things you could
What,
do.
walking down Bethnal Green High Street? Nah, fuck that,
Going
man.
Gales.
Nah, don't slag off Bethnal Green, man. I used to live around there. I love Bethnal Green. Big up Bethnal Green.
Forest
E.
was-
Pelletries, man. What a cafe that is. Outrageous.
Mate, this game's 5 minutes ago. Forest score here.
Nothing changes.
Villa don't know what to do with themselves. Lads, you're playing Lech Poznan next season. Enjoy it while you can. Okay, you're in Lech Poznan land. These lot were in the Championship a few years ago. What are they on about? They had John Terry run up and down Wembley. I mean, enjoy the Europa League, lads.
Skin him.
He's not going to skin him, is he? Go on.
Dink. I thought he was just going to...
Oh my God.
Oh, is that Rosette again?
That wouldn't matter though, would it? If Forest
It
scored...
would because there's 4 minutes left. They could get another one.
Oh, they can't score 2. Are you mad? They've had 93 minutes to score 1. They're not going to score 2 in 4.
Chris Wood couldn't hit a barn door.
Heads
Only a
have
barn
gone.
door.
Heads have gone. Villa's heads have gone.
Look at this, Chris Woody. Woody.
He's in there.
Woody!
He's got to score.
Oh, his first touch is poor.
Look at this. That's a good touch. And look, Bosch.
Yeah, it's a good,
Rosette, you big
good
lump.
defending, to be fair.
He's just been the reason. Our knee is totally different.
That's just who he is as a striker. He just had a purple patch. That's all it was. That's fair play.
Oh! Villa nearly scored. Jesus.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because there's 4 minutes left to play Man
Mate,
United.
they've had 94 minutes to score 1. They're not going to score 2 in 4 minutes. Doesn't matter. It's done. The
Bruno
league's over.
Fernandes.
It is what it is.
Bruno Fernandes, £100 million player right
what
there.
I am.
Just had a stinker, generational stinker and hooked against Tottenham
Generational
Hotspur.
stinker and hooked. Biblical
100
bombastic stinker and hooked.
100 million quid.
Aston Villa. Biblical bombastic stinker and hooked.
It's a big win for Man United. They just lost to Tottenham Hotspur in the Europa League final.
Win means nothing, bro. This win means nada.
Well, it's quite fun to have done this to Villa, I imagine, if you're at the ground.
Not when Newcastle benefit from it, though.
Yeah, that's true. It must be so frustrating for Villa because they went into this thinking, even if we win, we won't make it. And now it turns out that if they'd won, they would have made it. Like they are.
Probably would have been third or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's terrible refereeing decisions. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
win for Villa would have made them.
But goal line technology kept them up, right? In terms of they didn't turn it on against
Yeah.
Sheffield United.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
So things even themselves out. It's still a decent season, isn't it? Like, is it a bad season for Villa?
It's because they did well in the Champions League, though, so it makes...
They did all right.
No, they get back... No, they did really well.
Did
It
all right,
was his
yeah.
first time in the Champions League in a long, long time. They did well, man. You know, there was parts of that Paris game where you're going... Ooh,
Got
Villa-
smashed by Palace in the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah,
That was a bad one for them.
that was a bad
Should have done better there, really. But they're a Europa League side. What? They're not going to win the Champions League. Let's be real. They're never going to
Well,
win.
hardly anyone who's...
but they
Arsenal
could win the
have never
Europa
won it.
League.
They still want to be in it.
Yeah, look, you'd rather be in the Champions League than the Europa League, obviously. But look at Tottenham. They're never going to win the Champions League, but they could win the Europa League, and they've done that. Villa could win the Europa League, couldn't they? Like,
It does have a big detrimental effect on your season, though. By the way, I'm not using that as an excuse for Spurs or United seasons, but
no, you're right.
you know, if you're trying to get Champions League football and then you go far in that,
look,
it's hard to juggle both.
you'd rather be in the Champions League, but I can't believe Newcastle lost to Everton. I can't believe it.
Johnny Evans nearly scored. Oh my god!
So Newcastle have made it
If Evans scored,
despite losing. So Pickford's efforts.
Will Johnny Evans retire?
yeah,
He won't move to another club.
What do they need for it to go wrong? For like they need it's 2 goals per game. It's not 1 goal in any game, is it? For
Newcastle will be worried about Villa, but they won't be because it's 2-0.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Wait, Villa drew.
Yeah, but it's 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like 1 goal in any game doesn't change anything. If Villa were to, if Forest score now, does that mean anything? It doesn't mean anything, does it? No. So it's over. It's fine. Great.
It's finito.
Job done.
It's finito. Gibbs White lumping it in.
So as it stands, guys, and what's looking like confirmed, the Champions League clubs for next season from the Premier League finishes are Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, and Newcastle.
Newcastle next season will be good.
Finish 4th.
It's not a bad season for you.
Finish 4th.
20 wins.
And 4th in the Conference League.
Well, mate, you're 15 points off top, and you basically threw it away in December going, we're not going to win the league.
Yeah, that's
But look at your last 5. That's good. That's
Not
4
that
out of
far,
5
you
wins.
consider.
It's not bad.
when it matters.
Yeah, and the business end is look at Forest results.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Villa in the box.
2 draws for Forest and a loss back to back. It's just like not good enough.
Yeah. One of them was to Leicester as well.
He was too rigid, and that's why he won't succeed at. Tottenham. We slag off
Done it.
Tottenham, but he's too rigid
No,
defensively.
we haven't. Why is he celebrating?
Probably used like just want to throw in.
Mate, these games are going on forever. Done.
That's it.
In the bag. Chelsea
Maresca.
qualify for the Champions League. That's the Champions League, baby.
It's done at Old Trafford as well.
Mate, that is huge. Isn't it funny how you can celebrate like finishing 4th in the league as if it's a trophy?
Yeah, look at
this. Yeah, so weird, isn't it? Look, this is like we've won something.
Is there any world he doesn't stay at the club in the
Mourinho's
summer?
coaching staff did that at Spurs when they got Europa League on the last
Yeah.
day or something.
Did they?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I've never seen Maresca so happy.
Look, you can actually do that whole like jumping about celebrating as if you've won something. It's amazing how the standard. Look
Villa livid.
at this. This is what we used to do when we won a double.
That's embarrassing.
Look there.
You can only
Do you remember when
celebrate what,
Arsenal did it? Do you remember when Arsenal took that picture at St James's Park? They were in the dressing room and they were like, they took a picture because they qualified for the Champions League.
Really?
They were the first ones to do it. Do you remember that picture? Yeah, they've like taken a picture in the dressing room like you would if you've won the European Cup. It's weird, isn't it?
How you feel, Raw?
I feel over the moon. I do find these scenes a little bit like it's a get out of jail thing, isn't it? You finish 4th and somehow you pull something out of the season. Like playing in the Champions League is huge. Of course it is. Delighted. I just feel that we could be a little bit. I just find it weird to celebrate like this. Like Dewsbury Hall in
I
Jadon
know
Sancho.
you don't agree with those celebrations, but for your club as well, you've spent a lot of money recently, and
Yeah, I mean we had to do
guarantee
it.
that
It's
Champions
the
League
first
money
time.
as
It's the
well.
first time that we've been in the Champions League since this new ownership have come in. So it's really important to get over the line.
Do you
It's
think
really
they'll
important to
use
make it.
this as an opportunity to help build you into title challengers, or is being in the Champions League enough for them? Do they just want to sustain it, or do they want to improve and try and move on?
I don't necessarily think that we'll want to improve in the way that we should. Like what I don't think we're going to do now is go and sign like a 28-year-old who has maybe won the Champions League previously. I think that we will keep signing young players with massive sell-on value. But obviously, being in the Champions League changes everything about who you can talk to over the summer, who you can attract, the direction that the club are moving in. And that's why players are celebrating like this. Look, we're seeing Newcastle United celebrate now. They're going mad as if they've won a trophy here, on the night. City less so, more impressive, I guess, more used to it.
Yeah, I think there's a banana skin there.
Sigh of relief for City more.
So
than-
relief rather than a celebration, yeah.
And it's a shame that, we're talking about one of the great midfielders in the history of the Premier League. His celebration, his big moment, his climax at Man City will be getting City back into the Champions League and not winning the FA Cup or winning the Premier League or even the Champions League. It's a smaller thing. It's been a really poor season for City. So to get into the Champions League is a big achievement.
Yeah.
To do it relatively comfortably, not to be as dramatic as the other clubs.
Yeah, it does seem to be like a huge moment for the club. Like this is something that was taken for granted for such a long time that it's weird to see it being reacted to like this.
Yeah. Is there anything about Maresca in terms of his future? Is it pretty
I saw that he was fairly heavily linked to Roma. Did you see any of that?
No, I've not seen that, no.
But now we're in the Champions League. I don't see why he'd leave.
He wouldn't want to leave, but is there any ownership
I don't think they can sack him now. He's done
his job.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly the same sort of courtesy that we extend to Postecoglou.
Yeah, of
Like,
course,
did his job. Like,
Yeah.
they won a European trophy.
And he predicted fourth, didn't he? He was always a little bit muted about what could happen at Chelsea.
But
He
actually,
said top four is the goal, right?
actually, that's what he said initially. Then when it looked like we weren't going to make it, he was like, no, I've got 2 years to make it. He kind of moved the goalposts a touch.
Yeah.
But he was like, this year or next year. But somehow we've got there. And I really didn't think it was possible. When you think, we lost to Ipswich.
Yeah,
We dropped 2 points at home to Ipswich.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've got over the line now and we are a Champions League club. Look, if, we were talking about Enzo Fernandez being linked with Real Madrid. If we want to keep Enzo Fernandez, this is how you do it. You qualify
any
for the Champions
talent.
League.
Cole Palmer. You talk about Cole Palmer last few weeks. Does he want to stay at Chelsea? Well,
Now
he's
he
obviously going
probably
to stay
does.
now, isn't he? It's going to be impossible to get him out of that club.
Yeah, because you were worried about that, and
Yeah.
no Champions League football for him again.
Yeah, I feel like he just needs to be playing like certain players like Tosin Adarabioyo or Pedro Neto. They don't need to play Champions League football. They're not clearly Champions League football. Cole Palmer's obviously a Champions League footballer.
Yeah,
He just has to play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few players that are so obviously Champions League players that don't play in the Champions League.
Caicedo will fit that level
I
as
say
well.
no, absolutely. Yeah. So no, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. And if we can, there's a lot of good players there. If we can just sign a striker, a good one.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, I know. If we can sign a good striker, who knows?
It's a terrible day if you're a rival top six fan because Chelsea have got the money, the experience,
Yeah.
the spine of a side.
Yeah, it's really
We could
bad
debate
news for Villa.
Maresca. I think we could debate Maresca.
Yeah.
The keeper is still an issue, but you're not a million miles away from winning the title in the next 3 years.
No, it's a really, really bad day if you're Aston Villa or Forest to watch Chelsea get back to where we once belonged.
And been flat this season.
You could have stopped us.
Yeah.
And you could have stopped us. So yeah, we pulled it out of the bag when we needed to. We beat Everton when we needed to. We beat Man United when we needed to. We've obviously beaten Nottingham Forest. Huge win today at Forest. Not an easy place to go and get a victory.
No.
They didn't turn up. I think they'll be gutted. Like, they will be heartbroken because Forest just didn't seem to turn up.
I thought his system is limited for this level. It got them far into the Premier League, into almost a title race, but dominating the ball, possession-based football, Forest needed a little bit more in terms of what they did with the ball to get further up the table. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Nottingham Forest have missed out on Champions League football by a point. Nottingham Forest have missed out on it by 1 point. But the fact that they've only missed out on a Champions League by 1 point would suggest that it would have been there for them. It would have been there for the take. Wow. It would.
Come on, pop your heads in here.
It would have. How are you?
You all right, lads? How you doing?
This is mental.
It's the one and only KSI in the building.
Hey guys.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good to see you guys.
You well?
Yeah.
JJ.
How are you, Carl? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. You okay? How did Arsenal get on? Did Arsenal win today? Southampton.
I think we did.
You made it.
You won.
You made
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done.
Well, congratulations. And Carl, congratulations on the league.
Well done, man. I'm Florian Wirtz.
See you in a bit.
See you soon.
I love that. They're both just on the stream for the game. We asked them
they
the
walked
score,
into the wrong.
and they didn't know the score.
They
I love
walked
that.
into the wrong room by accident, didn't they? Well, that was wild. But look, overall, if you're Nottingham Forest, I know what you're going to say. I know you're saying that they done well to get here and they should be happy with the season, but they missed out on the Champions League by a point.
Yeah, they'll be gutted.
And you look at that Leicester result.
Yeah. If you can't beat Leicester City in this business end of the season, then you're done for. Done for, aren't you? And the issue is they had enough quality there. They had enough quality. Two exceptional wingers, goals up front with Chris Wood, quality in midfield, Gibbs White. I do think Nuno Espirito Santo a little bit of a bit too pragmatic, a bit too defensive at points. I think that's a fair assessment. Aston Villa, that's a big issue for them as well.
Forest
Losing.
Forest they've had a good season. They've had a terrible final quarter of the season. Like, they've blown it. They missed out on the Champions League by a point. Villa have been robbed.
Mate, the decision for Aston Villa to not get that goal following the Altay being their mishandle of the ball is a horrendous decision. And it's one of those decisions which, again, you find yourself, look, United have been on the receiving end of that today and we've kind of benefited from it, but it means nothing for United. And you look at it, you look at the arguments for and against VAR. Well, there's a big one because VAR's there, VAR can see it, and no one does anything about it. And the decision still stood. It was a really bizarre decision.
Is there something in the rule book we're missing?
But
in
his
my
hands
version
weren't
of
on the
football,
ball.
no. In our version of football, that is clear play. It should have been a goal. Is there anything that they've made some weird rule that it has to be under your control for a certain amount of time? Or
from my experience watching the game, if the rules change, I don't know. If the ball's on the floor and you have one hand on it like that, you can kick the ball out of the keeper's hand, right?
Yeah, it's two hands.
It's only
isn't it?
one hand, so you've got to have two hands.
Yeah.
He never, when the ball's kicked out of his hands, he never had
No, he's
two
not
hands
touching
on
the
it.
ball.
Yeah. He maybe is with one hand, but not both.
Yeah.
And it's why I asked that weird thing about when you're stretching for it in the air. If it was a similar situation, someone heads it out of his hands, does it count then? I think the referees disallow it, but I think it should count.
Yeah.
So it's a poor decision, and Villa rightly feel aggrieved by that, and their heads went. They were arguing everything after that because they knew that they'd been done over.
It's probably ruined the game, hasn't it, on some level? I mean, they'll be disappointed about their keeper. World Cup winning goalkeeper showed a lack of experience when he fouled Højlund and got a red card. That put them under massive pressure. They might not have won the game anyway. We don't know that. Obviously, the goal was massive, but their keeper's been sent off, so they've struggled in the game. They've still lost to Manchester United in a game where they should have beat them, really.
Okay, we've just been told by some people who can listen to the full audio from the game. For you guys watching at home, we don't have any audio, so we've just got screens with what's going on. According to them, the referee blew the whistle before the ball had gone in.
We shouldn't have done. Why?
Why is he
But that's
blowing
why
the
VAR could then not intervene because the ball... Because the whistle...
It's out. Yeah, it's not a live game. The game's not live.
Well, the referee has made a massive
the
error then. The
referee
whole
error.
point is
Yeah.
that you
Why
don't...
is he blowing the whistle? What is the idea behind
Because
that?
he's blown it for the foul.
Right.
But maybe he should, in that instance, let it play on.
Well, that's
And
what they
then-
do anyway. I mean, fuck me. A 1 year Nottingham Forest is a victim of letting the game flow for no apparent reason. They give these linesmen and referees all the opportunity to make as many mistakes as they do. They let the game play as long as humanly possible. If he's blown prematurely and given away a chance for Aston Villa to win a game to get into the Champions League, these refs, they're an absolute disgrace, and they're costing football sides at the highest level. And dare I say it, they're costing footballers potential major injuries as well. I think we'll look at this Premier League campaign as some of the worst refereeing you're ever going to see, and it's been a damning indictment on the Premier League.
In that situation, because it doesn't look like an injury is like what you can't do is play on when somebody gets clattered. But in that exact example, just wait. Just wait. Let the ball end up in the back of the net, and then you get the luxury of checking it.
It's every week though, isn't it? It's like the season's been just. It's like
But
it's getting
mate, think of the impact.
worse every week.
It's cost that moment. It's cost Aston Villa 200 million quid.
Yeah.
Like that's a difference between them
And it
genuinely.
impacts your next season because you're playing on Thursdays, bro. You're not
Mate, do you
playing
want to
Tuesday
know?
when
Do you
you're
want to know
playing
something
on
crazy?
Thursdays.
Do you want to know something crazy? Chelsea have played 2 games in the entire season Saturday at 3 o'clock. And the reason is because 14 3 o'clock kickoffs that we would have had were affected by playing on a Thursday. We've had 2
Crazy.
3 PMs. It's mental, isn't it?
And even if you have a big squad, it still affects you. It still affects a large amount of players that
Is
are
there
travelling.
anything to be said? And I know the answers to this, but let's talk about it. Aston Villa are probably not going to win the Champions League. I said before a ball was kicked today, I said Aston Villa fans should book Istanbul because the way that the Champions League has swallowed up the best teams from the Europa League now is so winnable. Is there something, anything better for a team like Tottenham are an example, a team like Aston Villa are an example, where you're better off in the trophy that you can win rather than competing in the competition that you probably can't win?
That's the only small slither of hope that if they win the Europa League next season, they won't give it. They won't care. They won't care.
And I think that they are probably one of the favourites, even if you don't think that they're definitely going to do it. Unai Emery, Aston Villa, like the fact that now the Champions League swallows up so many players, so many teams from the Champions League.
He's literally the greatest manager in the history of Europa League football.
Yeah,
He's won 4 or 5. Isn't
so it's not, it wouldn't be that.
5?
It wouldn't be that shocking for Aston Villa, a team with European prestige, a team that learnt from the Champions League this year, improved with the Champions League this year. If they use that, combine it with Unai Emery, and potentially launch a serious bid to win the Europa League.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. It's just.
And if that were to happen, it would be quite good.
Yeah,
Like the fact that they're in the competition.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, and who else has made? So who's in the conference? Forest. Forest are in the conference, and Brighton.
Could be.
Brighton could be in the conference, couldn't they?
No. Palace are Europa League as well, aren't they?
Yeah, Palace are in the Europa League because of the FA Cup win.
Palace are Europa League. No, but Brighton could be in the conference if we.
All due respect.
No,
who cares
we
about the
won. We
conference?
won. We've kicked them out. Yeah.
Although I'd probably chop a bollock off to be there right now. Anyway,
No European football for Man United next season.
and that is the real quiz. Anyway, guys, thank you. By the way, it's been an unbelievable season. We've still got one more game left.
Yeah, we'll be here for the Champions League final. Can't wait for that. I'm Viva Inter Milan all the way.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
Is anyone a Paris Saint-Germain fan here? Oh,
Are you still supporting Inter?
PSG. I'm Inter.
I'll be wearing a PSG shirt. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you join us next Saturday. Thank you for being with us throughout the season. It's been an absolute roller coaster of a ride. Not done yet, of course. Make sure you're checking out Sky Bet. Links in the description. 18 plus T's and C's apply. Please gamble aware. And thank you, of course, to Sky Bet for being absolutely fantastic partners of the channel. Anyway, we've been the club. We're out of here.